OSIM.
Or get arrested.
This will sting. You have my word.
私は強くなるんだ。そのためなら何だって。自分の良心に従って人を助ける。オーラってやつは隠してもにじみ出るもんだからな。
Who is the best looking player in MPL SG?
Oh wait. I know.
Oh,
I know. No, I know this one is the goat. Oh, this is the goat.
okay.
You sure easiest or not? Easy or hard?
Best looking player.
This one handsome boy. Handsome boy.
Ken from Manga. I think we're getting simple. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1.
这个呀，这个 I don't know what to say.
3, 2, 1.
Didn't he have a different name?
Can you write the current name?
Okay. Oh, easy game, bro.
Huh? Oh. Like you all say the old name or the new one?
The answers? Okay.
手一下。
Wow.
What's the old name? Dante.
Thought Dracula.
3, 2, 1. Technically both correct.
Oh, okay.
What the heck?
Wow, this one I know.
Wait.
Oh.
2, 1. Eudora is correct.
Yeah. That time her skin color, the basic one was red, bro.
I forget.
Eudora.
Oh, wait, bro.
Tapi je kan EXO. Tak, tak ada.
3, 2, 1. Slow.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of this skin, bro. But then I'm like, look like a girl skin.
But it's veiled because of the wind.
Oh.
I can't.
There's no way. There's not too long.
Yeah, mage.
Oh wait. Oh, I know.
Should be this one.
I hate this hero, bro.
I got my answer.
Okay.
Ah. Okay.
Huh?
Wait.
Like a universe, Who's that familiar?
Oh, okay. Let's see whether it's correct.
This one is, you can't even guess it. It's near impossible.
Oh.
You know the light bulb?
Yeah.
They super zoom into it, bro. I'm done.
Okay, can we read answers? Okay,
Correct.
correct. Look at the correct answer.
Wow. I forgot about that hero, bro.
Supposed to be your main, your main.
Because he got one.
I wanted to guess the Ellie special skin, but then like I realized
he said
that powers was not like featured in the password.
Yeah, but he said it was default skin.
Yeah, that's not to be a default skin.
Universe,
Do not say
Bro, I thought it's Cyclops.
See, bro.
Oh.
Oh, deluxe. Okay.
the first player to guess 2 The first player to guess 2. Yeah. Because of the yellow skin, right?
Oh. Why you don't know? Yeah, Linux me.
A crispier chicken McCrispy? So much crispier. Bite into an even crispier crunch with the improved Chicken McCrispy. Now, wouldn't that be nice?
Untitled. He's being relegated now. I mean, even though they were relegated, they gave us the sign. Yeah, now playoffs doesn't look really bright for the side of Homeboy Singapore.
The trials have passed. The intensity, a constant hum in the air. Through grueling challenges, these teams have persevered with unwavering resolve. Six teams remain. Relentless fire, fueling their every move. Only one team will emerge victorious. Now, you're rewriting your story. This is your moment, our pride, our passion. Let the games begin.
MPL SG Season 7 is brought to you by Moontan Games and Zenway Productions. Presenting partner, McDonald's. The road to glory has never been tastier with McDonald's. Catch all of the MPL SG Season 7 action and complete the experience with a crispier crunch with the new and improved Chicken McCrispy with Mac Delivery. Youth partner, Escape. Partner in Esports, OSIM. Level up your performance with OSIM's patented V-hand massage technology and ergonomic features designed with the player's comfort in mind. Earlier on, right here at MPL SG Season 7, we have started off the regular season with the top 8 teams right here in Singapore. And now, the top 6 teams stand before us right here as we head on to the playoff season. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cheryl Yao, and I'm so excited to be your host once more right here at MPL SG Season 7. Right now, we have reached the juncture of the playoff season, and it's just absolutely crazy. So who will emerge victorious? We will find out in a short span of 3 days. So let's take a look at the match schedule. So here you see the match schedules on your respective screens. Opening up the show, ladies and gentlemen, this is a match that you don't want to miss. This is the match where we see the All-Stars going up against the Rising Stars of NIP Flash going up against Asteris at 10 a.m. soon. Thereafter, we will see match 2 of Bleed going up against RSG SG at 12:30 p.m. Match 2 is guaranteed a bloodbath battle. And for match 3, we will see the losers of match 1 going up against Evil. And for match 4, we will see the losing team of match 2 going up against Vanguard Esports, closing off at 5:30 p.m. So yes, this is the playoff seasons. Our stakes are ever as high as we will be saying goodbye to 2 more teams in just today alone. So what will unfurl even from this first match? This is a one that you don't want to miss as we see 2 kings duking it out with each other. One, none other than NIP Flash, which is our All-Stars team, going up against the wonderful new Rising Stars, which is Asteris. Who will emerge victorious? Let's find out in match 1. Presenting to you first, our defending champions, NIP Flash. So yes, now our defending champions are smiling brightly here as they take on center stage in front of their battle stations. Right here with their brand new collaboration with NIP. NIP Flash is here to take the stage by storm. So next up, presenting to you our all-star rising stars, as we say, and this is Team Asteris. So yes, right now Asteris are smiling and shining brightly right here on the main stage as well. Now these all new rising stars definitely got our attention on them, taking the stage by storm. Even though they are brand new qualifying team, making it here to the upper brackets is definitely a feat. So right here for match 1, we will be expecting a wonderful match. So boys, head on over and fist bump your opponents for this match. So now the boys are getting ready to head on over to their battle stations. Now this is not going to be an easy match even for our defending champions, Team Flash, because we see Asteris bringing out really wonderful strategies as well as gameplays. And with them all being friends, Asteris also shows great synergy over at the Land of Dawn. Who will emerge victorious right here from match 1? Opening up the show, let's hand our time over to the boys to find out. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the playoffs for MPL Singapore. My name is Jace. Joining me right here is finally Abstract and also Qua. We'll be bringing you the first 2 series, and especially we're going to start this one strong. It's going to be NIP Flash going up against Asteris, the rising star going up against the star. How are you feeling today, Abstract?
Well, of course, it is very early in the morning. We pretty much can expect, some of these players might be snoozing off a little bit, but, I won't be surprised. I'll just put it that way. I won't be too surprised. But, of course, eventually, we should be able to see some big plays from them, maybe by the second game in.
Yeah, that's right. And don't forget, it is absolutely freezing right here in Skate. But of course, what's going to be very important is if you guys have the time and you're around in Singapore, in Orchard or Somerset, please head on down to Skate because we got to have this venue just lit up with flames, right?
Definitely. It's going to be an exciting day full of great games. And yeah, it is a little bit chilly right now, but I'm pretty sure the heat of the games is going to warm us up really soon.
Yeah, definitely. You can start to see, like, some of the Asteris boys, they're actually in their jackets right here. But mind you, when the games get more fiery, they're going to start taking off their... I was about to say, take off their shirts. Their jackets! And,
take off their jerseys, I'm all in!
But let's take a look at the NIP Flash lineup right here on your screen. Abstract, just give them a big introduction.
Right off the start, we do have from the left to the right, we have Diablo that's going to be on the EXP lane, Hades onto the jungle, Katizi with the mid lane, Lulzy on the roam, and finally Vanix, or rather, Lord Vanix onto the gold lane. I'm very much expecting big stuff coming from NIP Flash, and especially with the collaboration from NIP, they actually do have quite a lot of expectations that they're going to uphold.
Yeah, that's right. Let's take a look at the other side right here, right? We talk about the stars already. Let's talk about the rising stars. Qual, what do you see from this team?
Rising stars indeed. So on Aster side, we have Bear on the EXP lane, JH on the jungle, Kiwi on the mid, FMM on the roam, as well as Chu on the gold lane. These guys have shown such immaculate teamwork when it came to the regular season. So I'm super excited to see what they're going to bring to the playoffs.
Definitely, right? Don't forget, they really grinded so hard, right? In the start of the January. FMM texted me personally on, what kind of community tournaments that they're able to go for. And you can start to see all this hard work really pays off.
Yep, understandably, right? When it comes down to qualifier teams, we have harped this over and over again.
Right.
This team, Asteris, is not a team that we thought, will be able to make it off the playoff, especially with this very punishing format. All these factors coming in is rather surprising that Asteris made it all the way here, but of course, it's all due to their efforts.
Yep. Let's take a look at the stats coming out from Team NIP Flash, by the way. And don't forget, these are the stats that we've gathered for the regular season. But don't forget, during the regular season, Team Flash, they're not I don't feel that whether they're serious about it, but this time around they have to pull up their pants.
Yeah, they have pretty much been playing however that they want, right? Vanix have played every unique marksman there are, so to be fair, it's a little bit difficult for us to really understand what's the main hero that he plays.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for now, we do have carry with the GPM of 796. We have definitely seen higher values, but it's fair to say that Vanix is probably second or third on the board. But of course, when it comes down to Diablo, one thing that I expected Diablo to do is to play a lot more meta heroes in this patch, and of course with this new team it makes sense for him to be able to clock onto a Yuzhong with quite a lot of damage taken per death.
Yep, let's take a look on the stats from the side of Asteris. Qua just take it over. You can see immediately the scene change. Chu and Vanix, they're looking at the same heroes.
Exactly, the same heroes, slightly different GPNs and KDAs though. I think slightly higher on the side of Chu. But, you know, I think the thing that we want to take note about the stats for Asteris is that they work together as a team.
Yeah.
Right? Strangely, we don't see the kill participation on Kiwis, but Kiwi is one of the main playmakers together with FMM on, well, all day plays, right? They move around as a team in the map, making macro decisions, making macro plays, and that's how they won most of the games during the regular season. Do want to highlight Bear is also one of the main
the bear trap,
show, right? The bear trap.
Yep.
You know, we do see him on the damage taken per death, 32k, really high. Shows how much of a attention he draws when it comes to team fights.
Yeah, literally the bear trap, right? He is the one that traps most of the enemy teams together, and then make things work. And if you notice, this is a team that practice really well. They really work together really well. You've seen them taking down RSG during the regular seasons as well. They are, well, the second Titan Slayers already. Now this is the upcoming Titan that they have to slay. And if, I'm going to be a little bit delusional right here, right? If they take one game away from Team Flash, I'm seeing them in the grand finals.
Oh,
just one game.
That's
the
power.
The amount of momentum that they're going to gain, just taking down one, is just going to be instrumental.
Honestly, I don't know what to expect coming from Asteris, but hearing from what you said there is pretty crazy.
There we go.
Yep, okay.
Hey, you're sharing the same sentiment, right?
Yeah, look, I mean, 2-1, right? I don't think Asteris is going to go down quietly. I don't think they're going to roll over and play dead, right? They have actions, they have the capabilities and the technical skills as well as the map plays, which we don't actually see from a lot of the other teams. So I do believe that Asteris will be able to take one game from Flash, but we also haven't seen what Flash can do at 100% capabilities yet.
Yeah,
exactly.
Is this the 100% that we are seeing for Team Flash? Because don't forget, during the regular season, they're not giving out a lot of information.
Maybe 30%.
It's
40.
So okay,
50.
Okay. So right now, if you take a look at the roster coming up from Team Flash, right, the only one that I can feel like it's a plug and play is Lozy or JPL. So do you prefer Team Flash on JPL or Team Flash with Lozy?
Yes.
What kind of response is that?
Oh my god! Either is fine, right? They just work so well as a team.
Yeah.
If you plug in either Lozy or JPL,
that
they
is
can be
true.
okay.
I mean, I could very easily reference this interview that Jace had with Diablo, I suppose, right? Very easily referenced because we've got Lozy that's very raring to go, just wants to go in, while on the JPL side, very much of the opposite.
Yeah, let's take a look at, we talk about the roamers head-to-head in the sense of ourselves, but it's just between Team Flash. But let's take a look at the player head-to-head between these two gold laners. Don't forget, Chu was Howski back in the days of Stellark, right? He was completely underground. Vanix, same story as well. When he was part of Zion back then, he was completely underground. But now these two rising stars, these two gold laners, right? Head-to-head, just look at the KDA. It's just 1 and number 2.
And look, it's not that far apart either, right? It's only a 0.5 difference in KDA. Not to mention the GPM is also extremely high, right? Vanix being second, 796 GPM. Pretty good. Chu, 714, not too much of a slouch either. Right? We do see, however, that Vanix was a lot more focused in pushing down turrets, right? Chu, on the other hand, a bit more focused on teamwork. Like I said, map control, map plays was a lot more important to Asteris than it is, I guess, to Flash, right? Flash, anything can happen.
Yeah, but this is Lord Vanix we're talking about. I think another stat that we also take a look is the turret damage per minute. It's 1.3k versus 882. It shows that Vanix also plays in a 4+1, where this is a gold laner that literally play in his own lane. He can make these plays on his own.
I mean, it's pretty much understandable considering the fact that Team Flash, they really love their objective games.
That's right.
Time and time again, they have been focusing onto Vanix's lane and just ensuring that he's able to take down his lane turret in the gold lane, and shortly after, go for a quick little switch. He goes over the EXP, he effectively takes 2 turrets down in one go. These are the instances that we see that helps Vanix to actually build up all of these turret damage per minute, that kind of stuff. So I honestly, I'm not too surprised with what Team Flash have got to show in terms of the statistics.
Yep, that's right. We're gonna be a few minutes away from the draft. Qua can start to see the anxiety, especially coming from Asteris, right? Look at all of them just readying up this, so psyching them up, especially going up against the Titan. But for NIP Flash, on the other hand, man, this is just another day in the office.
Exactly. You can actually see it on the screens on the player cams, right? That at the side of Asteris, they're warming up their hands. They're just trying to get ready.
Yeah.
But enough from us. We're going straight into the drafting phase. We do see on the side of Asteris a ban of the Faramis as well as the Angela, and on the side of NIP Flash, we do see gold focus lane bans in the Harif as well as the Natan.
Yep, it's already started. In fact, Faramis and Angela, as what you mentioned, already taken away. Right now, what is Asteris looking out for?
Asteris should be looking out for, I guess they want to kind of secure the gold lane for Chu, right? The thing is that with Vanix, if Vanix gets the hero that he wants, it's kind of spells doom on the side of Asteris.
We talk about the gold lane bans, right? Look at that, Roger already taken away. We don't want to give Vanix a bit of a head start, but I feel like right now, Asteris is looking to first pick the Mathilda. Both these teams, FMM and also Lozy, love to play the Mathilda as well. NIP Flash, what is their response?
With the Loi. Yeah, I think Loi is a really good ban, right? Kiwi is a danger on that Loi. We see him moving around the map with the Loi. Loi being super, super mobile, as well as a really good initiator when it comes to, or a ganker when it comes to team fights, right? Yep. So they do not want to allow Asteris to play the map like they usually do. I wonder if we're going to see Chip.
RL19 though. Yeah, I think there's also a comparison between you go for either the Chip or you go for the Mathilda. But right now, it just seems like Asteris, I think they're looking to deny Lozy's Mathilda, right? Because Adamir, the drafter right here coming out from NIP Flash, and that's so crazy about NIP Flash. The players themselves, the veterancy card coming in, they are able to just do a lot more things, and they're so flexible in this kind of lineup. It's just crazy coming out from NIP Flash.
Yeah, it's just so many possibilities. We do see the Fredrin.
Wow.
Even though Fredrin, I think Fredrin is one of the most popular picks.
No, not only just that. Yeah, it's not only just that. It's JH's best foot forward. It's basically his right leg stepping up and saying like, okay, I'm going to start this one strong. I'm going to forgo the Mathildas. I'm going to forgo like the prior picks. Right? I'm just going to go straight to Fredrin, making sure JH is comfortable in this first day.
Yeah, I mean, we see JH, look, JH is synonymous with the name Fredrin, right? When we see JH, we see Fredrin.
Yep.
Fredrin is one of the most popular picks going into, ever in MPL SG, right?
Yep.
So I think this is a smart pick. But on the other side of things, you see NIP Flash picking up the Minotaur as well as the Valentina.
Yeah, Mathilda completely forgotten right now for both these two teams, looking to for something else. If you notice the NIP Flash going for Minotaur and Valentina, they're looking for this massive clashes, right? And with the Valentina prior pick by the side of NIP Flash, is something that Curtizi likes to play, abusing the fact that he's so flexible, he's so versatile as a mid laner. Asteris right now has to be a little bit careful with what kind of ultimates they want to bring on board.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, we do see the Chip prediction in the house.
100% win rate.
Paquito being picked up on the side of Asteris. Exciting plays. We do see the Chip being revealed extremely early, so that does give us a sense of what Asteris is trying to strive for, right?
Yep.
Paquito as well, really, really good at split pushing the lanes. So right now, Asteris' team comp looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're going for the split composition as compared to NIP Flash. They're looking for, this massive team fight comps right now. Asteris is saying that I don't want to fight your face on. I'm not going to take down the Titan right head on. I'm going to find the weak points, right? I'm going to find the small little gaps in the armor. I'm going to stab right there. It's like a rogue kind of gameplay. It's just exactly what I like to play.
Yeah, look, and the thing is that with Chip, right, even though they want to, they can do the split pushing, right?
Yeah.
Chip allows his whole team to come in together for team fights. So as long as the Chip doesn't die, he just portals up, right? And for all the split pushers can come in and join the team fight.
It's very big brain coming up from RL19, right? The drafter coming outside of the Asteris.
But on the side of NIP Flash, Moskov, also a really, really good split pusher. this is a really, really good pick, I think, for NIP Flash, right? They're going to be able to match the split push and then join the team fights as well. Moskov, really, really solid pick for NIP Flash.
Now I'm just more concerned about the amount of gold laners, gold marksman pool left, right, from the side of Asteris. Now they haven't secured one themselves. Look, the Roger's already gone away. The Nathan's going to go away. Now the carry is going to go away. What's the next best marksman? The Claw, perhaps? And NIP Flash has already secured the Moskov already. And now I think they could also hammer down on the Claw, or they may even open it up because Moskov wins against the Claw in the early game.
Or maybe we see a Layla.
That's from Badix.
hey, Badix can pull it out. Look, Chu is the second best, right? So technically...
I don't know, man.
You just want to outrange, right?
Exactly, you just outrage the Moskov.
True.
Can't even touch you.
I mean,
theoretically speaking, it would work.
Yeah,
but I'm not too sure.
It's like experimental, you know, with the big glowing chop, the stamp, that sort of thing, with exclamation mark and also all caps in Times New Roman font.
Dude, depend on the Claude, man.
I told you.
I don't know what else Chu can pick up.
Clint, Irithel, something that, you know, can outrange the Moskov in the early game, something that maybe to a certain extent Brody, right? Something, or even a Bruno coming off from Asteris now is just, yeah, there's not a lot of marksmen left, but Asteris right here, okay, they have to move on, right? What do they have left? JH, sorry, not only just that, Archive is already taken away, JH has already secured their own jungler, NIP Flash, not so, but you don't ban out Hades. Hades can always pull out a Fanny out of nowhere, and Asteris right now, I think they're also looking at more of the stunts, and there you go, Carmilla just targeting on Hades.
Carmilla's a really, really interesting ban. I mean, I would expect something to ban out more teamfight compositions, but we do see the Carmilla being banned out. I think on the side of NIP Flash, you probably want to pick up something for Hades and just allow Diablo, because we already know what Diablo is going to be playing against.
Now, Guinevere.
We did see Hades playing this at the last game, I think, of the regular season. Very good pick as well, actually.
He did play that before, and it synchronizes exactly what the Minotaur wants to do, right?
Yep.
We're going to lock down in this one massive circle, knock everybody sky high. Guinevere can follow up. That's a lot of small little combos that goes together with the Minotaur. So, wonderful drafting coming out from Adamir.
Beautiful drafting indeed. I mean, look, on the side of Asteris, they've got their mid laner as well as the gold laner to be picked, right? And honestly speaking, the pools are being pinched so tightly, I'm digging really deep into my knowledge in terms of what's left over.
Yeah, you talk about how you're trying to dig deep, but it feels like Asteris right now, this is a kiddie pool, that kind of hero that I have to work with. Yeah, like I said, the next best thing, we talk about a kiddie pool, that's Kadita. Coming out from Asteris, that is going to be Kiwi. I think that's the first time he's playing Kadita.
Kadita makes sense though, right? Kadita in this lineup makes sense.
Burst. Mobility.
Right?
Get out.
You want to get rid of the Moskov as soon as he enters the battlefield. You want to get rid of the Guinevere before she can actually do the combination, before she can do her combo together with Minotaur. But look, honestly, on the side of NIP Flash, Valentina's ultimate selection is not. She doesn't have many good ultis to steal.
Now I'm looking at Diablo right here, the XP lane from the side of NIP
Likely
Flash.
Yuzhong here.
Yuzhong, yeah, I was going to say Yuzhong makes sense.
Marsha!
Oh.
Whoa, yeah, this is of a new flavor that's coming in from the side of and other tournaments that I've been watching internationally, right? Marsha coming in, looking for the burst onto the Bruno. I just sacrificed myself over to Bruno. Just remove the damage dealer from the side of Asteris. All of a sudden, you don't really have that consistent DPS already. Asteris is going for more of a burst composition, a split burst composition, whereas NIP Flash, I want to clash you. I want to force this 5v5, and you know that you're not going to be able to win it, especially up against a titan like NIP Flash.
Yeah, look, I think these two team compositions heading off against each other in the first round is going to be exciting to watch, right? You have two teams playing very different strategies. But we're going to see who's going to be able to execute it a little bit better.
It is always about the game, about who executes the best and who makes the least amount of mistakes. We're here already at the playoffs, and every single mistakes are gonna be capitalized by the enemies. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all dive right in to the very first game of the MPL SG Season 7 Playoffs, featuring Asteris versus NIP Flash.
Something's wrong all of a sudden. Not a lot of movements coming out from Team Flash. Curtizi is the one that steps forward. Going to go into the game pause for now. But let's take a look at a draft, right? What's the win condition coming up, especially for the side of NIP Flash, Kwa?
So NIP Flash probably wants to group up early. They want to group up. They want to get team fights. They want to invade the jungle, right? They want to prevent Asteris from doing what they want, which is get an early lead, split push, and take the game from there.
Yeah, look at Losey just signaling to Vanix. I think he's mimicking Moscow. By the way, this morning, you know what I just realized? Moscow's actually left-handed.
Huh?
What? Yeah, I just realized that he's throwing his spears and using his left hand. I was like, I thought he's right-handed. I don't know. I was just looking around. If I'm not mistaken, all right, guys, chat. I'm just like,
it's a southpaw. But why? But
I have no idea.
It's so random.
Yeah,
It's-
not
it's like
why
this
it's
small
a
little
southpaw,
random
but why would you realize that?
I don't know. I was
He's
playing.
just staring at his picture like lovingly and just be like, oh.
No,
That
I was
sounds about
playing
right.
Moscow.
Sounds
That's
about
why.
right.
No,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
playing Moscow. That's why.
Sure.
All right, and
You
you're walking
Moscow?
all the way to the lane, and you have got nothing better to do. You're just looking, and he's like, "Why is he holding a spear in his left hand?" So yeah, he's
I
a
have so
left-handed.
many
He's a
questions.
creative.
I have so many questions.
Are you saying that I'm
gonna
not
ask.
creative?
I thought generally speaking, left-handers are very creative artists. Like all my artist friends, they always draw with the left hand. I don't know. It's
Interesting,
just me,
interesting.
right?
Yeah, your statistics might be completely blown out of proportion.
It's okay. I guess 50-50, all right? I'm just doing a coin cost right here.
Hey! Bear! Wait, okay, look.
All right.
If your name is Bear, I would expect you to bring a bear, not a capybara.
That's a bear, no?
It's a bear, no?
Is a bear?
That's
Yeah,
a
that's a
bear,
bear.
dude.
That looks like a capybara.
No, that's his
He's
bear.
had that all
That's a
season.
bear, right?
That's his emotional support bear.
Ah,
By the way, his merchandise going up soon for sale from the side of Asteris. So if you want to support this team, go buy the bear.
Perfect.
Perfect. Nice.
And they have a turtle?
They got a turtle.
Oh,
they got a
wait!
bear. Do they have like a...
Dude, they're bringing the whole animal kingdom on stage.
What are we looking at? Noah's Ark?
They should change the team name for next season, hey?
The Ark. Noah's Ark. But I think we have digressed enough.
We do.
Yeah, because, okay, to be fair, right now, the main thing is we are looking at a very different kind of composition coming from both NIP Flash as well as Asteris. I actually really want to really dive in a lot deeper in to
go.
really kind of break things down and really understand what exactly are the flaws of each team and what are their main win condition. Because for NIP Flash, right, we have seen a couple of interviews before. Hades himself say that they would want to make Diablo one of the win conditions. And in this case,
Of course, Diablo's the win condition.
hey, you never know. Hades himself is a win condition as well. But in this case, you know, Hades is playing as the Guinevere, and in this case, Diablo is playing in the Masher. We don't really see him playing in the Masher that much, but what does Masher come to contribute in this battle?
Masha can insta-gip one target. right?
Insta-kill one target, right? I
Literally-
trade myself for one target.
And no, the thing is that sometimes she doesn't even die. Right? She instantly bursts one,
Stays in
probably
lane.
the gold laner, and she can potentially stay alive. Right? She's very much useful as... She's a tank, but she's also an assassin.
Yeah.
Right,
Like 3
so-
easy thunderclaps. Just
Yep.
without a problem.
But right now, in this current meta, in this current patch, Masha's mostly built like your Blade
Like a Saber,
just
like
mostly
a Natalia,
damage, right? No, mostly
Blade of
damage, just
Hephaestus,
pure
Blade of
damage
Roar.
build. Yeah, Blade of Hephaestus is core item. You go in, BOD right off if you're feeling good. If you're feeling bad, you go for Malefic Roar. Yeah, so it all boils down to choose positioning. I said Bruno, I almost called him Holsky. Yeah.
The problem I feel is that there is a lot of threats coming from the side of Chu. Chu is definitely going to have a really tough game, right?
Yeah.
Like literally everyone from the side of Team Flash is capable of jumping over to the back lines, right?
That's right.
Of course, when it comes down to Minotaur, we know that that's possible. Valentina, Guinevere, Masha, they all have their ways to close up the gaps. With Moskov being the only difference where you gotta have to land your spear. But I don't think that, of course, Moskov's main priority is going to be Chu. There's still many other things that he's got to look out for. Primarily, the Kadita as well as Paquito, which I believe that Minotaur himself is a pretty good answer to Paquito. While for Kadita, that bushwhack position is usually what we want to be really... We would really want to look out for Vanix.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the roster right here, Kwa, right? Like, the enabler for the side of Moscow to be able to land on the Spear of Destruction. You're looking at Minotaur. You're looking at Guinevere. That's like 3 seconds. You're in the air for 3 seconds, right?
Yep.
And that's basically game-breaking for you.
It is, but the question is, will they be able to secure... I mean, look, positioning-wise is going to be super key in this team, in this team fight, right? From the side of Asteris, if they manage to position well, if they don't group up as 5, it's going to be really hard, right, for the side of NIP Flash to pick.
Hey, sorry, I'm just distracted by Diablo all the time.
Yeah, no, but it's going to be really hard for NIP Flash to pick and engage on some of these team fights, right? Because on the side of Asteris, they can choose to disengage or not group up as 5.
Yep.
And just win the game from there.
Yeah, and there's also, here comes the flexibility from the side of NIP Flash, right? Minotaur, yes, we talk about him as more of a clash comp, but he can be a pick-off comp, right? Like, you could just force a knock-up onto one person, hey, that becomes a pick-off.
That is true, but it's also...
Expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets the job done, I mean, you throw the money at the problem and you solve it, right?
Now, with that all said, right, we gotta have to understand what are reliable stunts coming from the side of Team Flash, right? Understandably, for Minotaur's stun and knockups is a lot easier to land. A huge AoE, that kind of stuff, and of course, low cooldown. Valentina's stun, or rather Terrify, is not necessarily what I will call reliable. You're gonna have to land your skill 1 twice. As for Guinevere, even more unreliable, because you're gonna have to land your Violet Requiem, and in most cases, even if you don't land, at least you have a Minotaur to help you.
I feel like Guinevere is that icing on the cake, right? The cake being Lozy and Hades being the icing. Wait, that sounds wrong. But the point being is that you follow up with the Minotaur knockup, right? And then after that, Guinevere could just follow up with a ultimate, right? As long as you air knockup, she could just abuse that with the ultimate. I think that's something that, you know, Team Flash is looking to combo, but that relies on getting the communication right. That means that Lozy needs to, you know, get Hades' attention, hey, watch me, and then engage, right? But this is something that we expect from a team like NIP Flash.
Yeah, I don't think communication is going to be an issue on the side of NIP Flash. I think NIP Flash, teamwork is definitely going to be perfectly fine for the two of them. But guys, I have a question. Right? In terms of team compositions, which is easier to execute?
Personally, I would say that Asteris' lineup is a lot easier to execute.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to say that actually.
Really?
Am
I the only one that says Team Flash?
Very simply, right?
Okay.
Because when we are looking at Team Flash, I talked about reliable stunts. The moment that Guinevere misses the Violet Requiem, then you gotta have to really be on the ball to look out for the Minoan's Fury to really land in order for your Violet Requiem. Sorry, Magical Thumb. Let me swap that. the moment
You're the Guinevere
miss
player,
your
come on.
Magical Thumb, right? You're gonna have to time your Violet Requiem at the right timing, and there's really not much that you can do. You have to wait for Minotaur. That means there's a lot of trust between your team, and of course, you're gonna have to play on timing. While for Asteris, it's kind of like a all for themselves kind of lineup. Frederick can just go all in and just be as bold as possible as the tanky guy, the taunt guy, the crowd control guy. There's so many things that you can do. Paquito, he knows what he needs to do. Bruno, he knows what he needs to do. Kadita just go in a burst. It's very individualistic kind of lineup.
All right, nice stats right here. We get to see Chip on the Purifier as well. I think that's also going to be very important, bringing the Goon Squad together, like what Gideon likes to say. But ladies and gentlemen, going back into game, NIP Flash going up against Asteris in the blue, and NIP Flash in the red. Rising Star going up against Star this time round.
Yeah, so we see Cortese being really low right now. They've got a significant amount of chip damage on the side of Asteris to NIP Flash. Having to do an early recall right here should actually be benefiting Kiwi.
Yep. Chip in the early game does have a lot of damage as well because of the pokes. And Kiwi, if you land a knockup really well, man, that's a lot of damage. Early game as a Valentina, you don't really have much good clear. Even if you have the clear, it's going to be very expensive mana-wise, right? And oh, look at FMM, just looking for the next victim for the side of MIP Flash.
All the way onto the top lane, they are just going to be putting themselves onto Vanix, but it's not too big of a deal for Vanix. In fact, he will be very happy to continue the fight if he really had to. Hades joined into the action, didn't really quite land a Magical Thumb, but at least he do have Spatial Migration to get himself closer to Chu. And of course, with all the stacks build up, the Violet Requiem finishes him off.
Man, I thought Chu was able to get out there, but he's already burned the Purify. And with the damage coming out from 80s in the early game, man, there's a lot of numbers on the stats coming out from Guinevere, but now Asteris looking at the bottom lane. Diablo, still level 3, doesn't have the power spike yet.
Yeah, look, I think Asteris is trying to do some small crossplay, right? They get punished at the top lane, they try to go down to the gold lane, to the EXP lane to try and get something from there, but Masha, 3 HP bars to go through, I think she's going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah, and you don't mess with Diablo at level 4, right? The 3 thunderclaps or 2 thunderclaps, and not only just that, Baron only just already hit level 4, and Asteris is in a better position going into the turtle, because don't forget, Hades, I think he should be ticking to level 5 very soon. FMM jumping in.
It doesn't seem like they will be able to do quite much to Lozzy as well as Katisi for now, but the main thing is NIP Flash has already been congregating themselves right down onto FMM, and of course the shortcut being popped right up, but it doesn't seem like they will be able to come in to help JH for now. But of course, we have the Valor Requiem just going to be knocking JH as well as Bear up, but unfortunately through all of that, Diablo still managed to find the Thunderclap, clapping down onto JH, bringing him down effectively. With the jungler down, NIP Flash have got a free turtle.
Mechanical coming off from NRP Flash in the first turtle, right? Like I said, the bonus EXP that Hades has secured for himself in the top, getting a Guinevere to snowball, you get Kurtisi to snowball. Man, Asteris is just using FMM, throw bodies right here, try to buy time for JH to secure the turtle. That did not work.
Yeah, look, that was a flawless team fight, I think, on the side of NIP Flash. Asteris just kind of walking in there, trying to prevent them from doing it, but it's a bit too hard to stop the momentum right now that NIP Flash has. 1.5k gold lead ahead right now on the side of NIP Flash. That's almost half an item.
Yeah, not only just that, Kiwi also landed a 3-man Petrify. That should convert into something, but NIP Flash, I think they stand in a very awkward angle for Kiwi to kind of pop. Like now you have to pick one person to pop, right? But unfortunately, not able to do anything at all for now. But I would say that Asteris right here, they have to play it safe. But there's a mid-game pulse spike, and I just say that they have to play it safe. FMM on the chopping block right there.
Yeah, I think they are choosing the right person to target down, right? They know FMM right now not doing too hot. He's really behind in EXP, I feel.
Yep.
And as we see the runes right now.
The emblems coming up, right?
Coming up, yep. Concussive. Nothing. Yeah, actually, I'm surprised.
Okay.
Chip on Concussive Blast.
Yeah, so that you get massive clear in the mid lane, and that's why they have a lot of good trade in the mid lane earlier just now.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to trade, it really boils down to pushing people back in and recall, right? But all in all, Asteris, they managed to clear the lanes in the middle lane pretty fast. They have lane priority, but up until now, I don't really see any of the use of the mid lane priority. They haven't really applied any form of pressure in the top lane or the bottom lane. Even when it comes down to river control, we're not exactly seeing that at all.
Yeah, FMM just teleported himself down the bottom lane, and there's a lot of fights happening at the bottom side, but it's going to be Kiwi picking up Hades though.
Immediately going down, we do have Katisi that's hoping that he'll be able to get himself with the Kadita's ultimate to do some good damage, but unfortunately wasn't able to do quite much. Lossie all the way in the front lines, taking the full brunt of the damage, in fact, taking all of the ultimate from JH as well, with a 2-4-0 trade. That's not exactly good for NIP Flash at all.
Yeah, and this should put Asteris back onto the map in terms of a priority. But NIP Flash, yes, starting to lose a lot of this gold lead. This is Asteris in the mid-game power spike, and Asteris forcing NIP Flash in a fight they don't want to be in, especially when the turtle is already up.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised NIP Flash couldn't take more from that fight, to be honest. I mean, they had advantage in terms of men as well. But Turtle, all eyes looking on the Turtle right now as we see the teams grouping up. Masha still, Diablo still at the bottom. Paquito going down to match that. But we see a slight turtle dance starting to happen. JH initiating on the turtle.
Yep, and right now Hades just, equal in terms of levels as compared to JH, right? Kurtisi is standing forward right there. He knows the limits of this Valentina. You can see how comfortable he is on this Valentina. And now the turtle's already quarter HP. Is going to get resetted. Lozzy is hiding in the pixel brush right into setup. FMM coming for the flank on the conceal.
And it doesn't seem like they have enough damage at all, but take a look at the amount of damage that's going to be popping down on the Lozzy without a Minoan's Fury. It doesn't seem like NIP Flash will be able to take this fight at all. NIP Flash made their way backwards with JH continuing onto his pursuit onto Hades. This 1v1 assault, how is that gonna end up like? But Kadita seems like he's gonna be slowly on his way over. In the meantime, FMM finds himself being choked out down in the bottom side, with Bear hoping that he will be able to take Vanix down throughout all of that menace and chaos.
Oh, one spear of destruction lands right in between the eyes of Bear, takes him down, but I don't know whether this is worth it for NIP Flash. They're just trading, right, for kills, but at the same time, Asteris not only take down the turtle up top, they also take down the top lane turtle. Gives a lot of farm for the side of True, but Vanix is farming heroes instead.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's close. The gold is really, really close. Right now, NIP Flash at a 500 gold lead. Just looking at the tower showing should increase slightly. 1K, but it's looking pretty good for the side of Asteris.
Oh, FMM was hoping that he will be able to make it into the brushes, but of course, to give a quick little shortcut, it brings Kiwi as well, JH back all in. But with the Minoan's Fury only landing on the one, but Bear joins in, and he actually got hit by the Violet Requiem, but they are actually surviving still pretty darn well. Hades quickly, with the spatial migration backwards, they did manage to come up still all alive with 2 kills to their name.
And only just that, Vanix lands the Spear of Destruction Shoot. Doesn't really have the mana. He doesn't really have the mana to dash away. He's taking a lot of punishment right here. Diablo's going to chase. But JH, you can start to see Asteris starting to fall apart just a little bit. But hold on a second.
It doesn't really have any health bars left, as we do have this Kiwi comes in from the back. And of course, with the Appraisal's Wrath, that finishes off the deal.
FMM is that baseball that Asteris is throwing against NIP Flash and hoping that it hurts. But, you know, it's a baseball, right? It's made of cloth.
Hey, baseballs, have you ever gotten hit by a baseball? Dude, those
No.
things
Not yet.
hurt, but, you know, going back into the game, that was a really confusing fight. It feels like Asteris is looking a little bit disorganized right now, right? FMM is choosing to take fights, and they're just really hoping to get something from that fight, but it seems like the other half of the team is just not going in for it.
I think it's just because of the presence of Lozi, right? Yes, I have a shortcut, but are you going to shortcut right into a Lozi's ultimate? And that's what makes it so hard for Asteris to commit. And we talk about the trust in between the teams from the side of Asteris, and now, where's that trust?
Trust needs to be earned, but, you know, I think so far they're not out of it, right? Asteris is not out of it just yet. You know, they're only down 700 gold. They have been actually taking the lead in terms of taking these objectives. But we see NIP Flash, 4-man on the Lord, JH and Kadena. Those are the only 2 people that are nearby the Lord, right? We do see Bear at the top as well, but in terms of collapsing, it's looking a little bit tight.
Sorry, I started laughing quite in abstract. I was thinking, like, this is like everybody from the side of NIP Flash is just looking at JH, just dancing around right there. It's like, you know, they're about to pounce on JH, right? And they're just looking at it like, super judgy right there. I can feel it judgmental all the way to the caster desk.
Absolutely just wasting their time, right?
It is.
For the side of Asteris, they are just wasting the time of NIP Flash because they know and they saw that there's no one around the map. They have zero information and it's very likely going to be harder around the Lord. While in the meantime, they just send Chu, go down to the bottom lane, just do what you want. They're not going to come here.
Yeah, and don't forget FMM can take the shortcut to reinforce all the way up top. If you take a look at Curtizi's brush right there, that's basically just to make sure that FMM doesn't go there. But apart from that, I'm already feeling hungry. There you go. The McDonald's just delivered the improved Chicken McCrispy, man.
It is a code for 50% off, man.
Yeah, man.
Is that lunch for us?
Take it. Just do it.
Hey, 50?
Yeah, key in that code. CMCXMLBB.
Hey. That's actually pretty easy to remember as well.
Yeah.
Chicken McCrispy.
Yeah, and of course, you know, NIP Flash, just looking at GH like it's a McCrispy itself. We're looking at this Lord fight for the past 1 minute, and yeah, it's making me a little bit hungry.
Man, this stalemate. I'm gonna have to say NIP
Bottom
Flash.
lane.
Look at bot, look at bot.
Oh, bottom lane.
We do the shortcut, just gonna be popped. They want to get a kill down onto Diablo, but it's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade for now. Bear flickers himself away with just a sliver of health. Amazing. Well, Lozi hoping that he'll be able to catch up onto the Bear, but with him going down, there's really not much that NIP Flash gonna continue onwards. Now, Hades continues his pursuit down onto JH. He managed to land on the Violet Requiem to buy enough time for Katizi as well as Vanix to join in.
Yeah,
that's so rough.
That's so rough, right? That shortcut turns out to be a shortcut for NIP Flash to join in the fight as well. And all of a sudden, Asteris just walks into everybody's a little bit, you know, jet-lagged right into a Minoan Fury of Lozi.
If that's not a wake-up call, I don't know what is. We do see NIP Flash taking down the Lord extremely quickly. Asteris is right not to compete for this. If they do compete for this and they do lose out on the Lord as well as the team fight, I don't think there's a way for them to come back.
Yep. Now, don't forget, the mid-game power spike from Asteris is starting to fade. NIP Flash, on the other hand, this is the late game kind of matchup, right, for the side of Vanix. Diablo in the late game, don't forget, if you notice his emblems earlier just now, it was Bargain Hunter, and after that, just to make sure that he gets his items quickly. He knows he's not going to be able to win in lane, so I'm going to win in the long run, right? That Bargain Hunter is just going to just add so much value in terms of getting these expensive items, especially BOD.
For sure, for sure. We do see the Lord shoving down the bot lane. Right now, we do see the teams starting to group up. But remember what we talked about just now, right? In terms of grouped up team fights, we do know who is more favored.
Yep.
It's I don't see a way for Asteris to win this right now. We see the Masha as well being able to push out on the side to match the Paquito. So the split push composition isn't quite working out for the side of Asteris.
Well, the Lord's HP has dropped quite fast, in fact, tremendously. But the main thing for NIP Flash really just boils down to bring down all the exterior turrets, which is kind of a shame because the top lane's turret is still standing up tall. I'm pretty sure that Diablo will want to deal with Bear as soon as possible, but not a single thunderclap has been seen. They just want to deal with the proxy game for now. As you can see, Hades just clipping himself onto FMM, just a tad little poke here and there.
Yeah. Little poke, dude. That was 1/3 of his HP, man.
But he could heal it up. Diablo is using the Masha, abusing the fact that he could actually just stay in lane as long as he scratches somebody, or the turret, or the minions. He could just immediately... What? Damage dealt by FMM. That's crazy.
32k?
Huh? Oh my god, he's dealing more damage than Chu.
Wait, what?
I am the carry now.
Chu, only 11k damage, man. That is wild.
You know, when I play the roam, it feels good when I'm the one dealing most of the damage, but don't forget, FMM comes in with a lot of splash damage, and FMM used to be the carry back in Slate, which was Singapore, and of course, don't forget, he was from Bleed as well, so he used to be more of like damage dealer, and this is basically he's in his element.
I mean, look, he's at 1-5-5, by the way. He's 1-5-5 and still doing the most damage. Come on, guys, step up the game. It's time to catch up.
All right.
But I do expect to see Chu. I think doing it. He needs to pull a bit more of his weight, right? If Asteris is gonna win this, Chu needs to do more damage.
And not only just that, I think right now, Kiwi also played a tremendous job right here trying to look for the pickouts on top of Vanix, but Vanix is just so hard to catch because there's always that reset on the dash. Yes, you can also reset on the Bruno dash as well, but it's very mana dependent, right? And if he dashes incorrectly, NIP Flash is going to gobble him up. And if you notice, most of these fights is always FMM shortcut right into Lozzi's Mino and Fury. And now Asteris, they're trying to play it split, but Masha is keeping him in check.
I think one of the main reasons is, of course, how Chip is brought into this game, right? It's a very reactionary play. When it comes down to Asteris, they want to respond to when NIP Flash actually jumps on them, but not necessarily them starting the shortcut themselves, because they really have to be careful about how FMM has been going around the map and just putting himself in brushes, because we all know NIP Flash, they will always position themselves wisely, and the moment that our dear FMM just traverse across the map, he might just find himself in a 1v5 scenario.
Yeah, it's just really, really hard to pilot Chip right now in this kind of team composition, right? We failed to mention earlier that Minotaur, great pick into FMM, right? Because the thing is that if Chip drops the portal, all Lozzi needs to do is wait for the whole team to arrive and just presses the Mino and Fury.
Yep. Don't forget, Adamir drafted Valentina and Minotaur together, and then after the Asteris pick the chip, right? It feels like NIP Flash knows Asteris wants to pick that chip because they know they don't want to fight face on, and then after that they're going to force a split. But here we go, it's going to be, NIP Flash knocking on the middle lane right here. FMM goes in to conceal.
All the way from the behind. Bear is still somewhere within of the brushes, haven't really quite revealed himself just yet. The Lord marches to the bottom lane, brings down the inhibitor in the middle lane, while the rest of NIP Flash is patiently waiting for the middle lane and the top lane to push in. The Terrify lands onto Bear, the shortcut comes in, the spear lands, and the Kobe right down on the Bear, putting themselves in a 4 versus 5 fashion. Diablo goes all the way to the back and finds FMM. What the main bodies of NIP Flash is going to be focusing on to Kiwi as well as the Chu. The Breath of the Ocean is not going to be doing anything at all, and Asteris unfortunately suffers their very first loss here, coming into the playoffs.
Man, somebody from the side of NIP Flash picked up a Maniac as well. GG well played from the side of NIP Flash. Like what I mentioned, this is another day in the office, right? And can we get an office zoom for the side of NIP Flash? But apart from that, Asteris, they're gonna have to look back at the drawing board once again. This composition, it feels like they're onto something, but it's not enough.
Yeah, not to mention, I think they need to put more priority on Chu, right? Chu looked so out of his element there, where literally all the meta gold laners were banned, right? He had to go really deep into the Bruno, and we saw he was not able to carry his team. He was not able to deal enough damage in the team fights, right? So honestly speaking, I think they need to relook in terms of how they draft, right? They need to prioritize Chu. They need to give him something that he's a little bit more comfortable on. Yes, JH is important, right? yes, getting that Fredrin is important, but they need to prioritize Chu.
Yeah, if you take a look back at the picks, right, maybe switch the Paquito pick, right? You don't prioritize Bear because I feel like Bear has a little bit better hero pool as compared to Chu, but especially when you started the whole ban phase, it's like, yeah, let's just take all the marksmen away.
Honestly, when it comes down to Asteris win condition, it really just boils down to me is the fact that it's a very individualistic game.
That's
it's
right.
all about micro. They're gonna have to win in their own micro game in order to beat against NIP Flash. But the moment that they are unable to do that in their laning positions, there's really not much that they can do coming out of laning.
Yep, let's take a look at the MVP, ladies and gents. It is, I don't know, it could be, okay, it's gonna go to Vanek 704, 868 GPM.
It's
That's actually
6A.
quite high,
Okay.
actually. And don't forget, he's been landing those Spear of Destruction without enablers. It's basically just landing it, like the amount of prediction Vanix has to do, and then being able to land a Spear of Destruction onto a moving target like Paquito. That's crazy.
I feel it's like a basketball game, right? He's throwing a three-point shot. Kobe, boop, score, you know, and he gets a kill from that. But we do see, you know, if we just take a quick look in terms of his items, pretty standard stuff. You know, Malefic Rob, Wind of Nature, and the trio, the Holy Trinity, right?
Yep.
Pretty standard stuff. We do see his emblems though. Interesting choice.
Yep, the common emblem so that he could just spam mana. He spam his dashes willy-nilly. That's basically what most of the Moscovs are doing.
Oh, he picked Thrill as well.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
More damage in the early game to
I'm
trade.
expecting penetration.
Nah,
He's gonna rapture it.
More damage. More early
More
game damage. More emotional. I mean, more early game damage, right?
More damage, more
You
better.
add on the Master Assassin, you're basically winning lane, and that's probably why, you know, the Moskov is just so prior right now in this current meta, right? The flexibility that the Moskov was able to do, you could just split push after that, join the fight. It has a global ultimate as long as you land a spear.
And if everyone lines up, big damage as well, man.
Big damage. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I gotta have to say that Asteris, like I said, they're probably still snoozing. You know, so the first game doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we're
someone
looking for the
deliberate them.
2-1, right? The
That's
both of
true,
you
that's
is looking
true.
for the 2-1.
Looking for the
This is
2-1.
their wake-up call, right? Because the moment that they lose this bracket, they're gonna have to face another giant, right? We have seen, I believe that they're going against Vanguard, was it?
Evil.
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 Yeah, they're going
Difficult.
up against Evil.
Difficult.
Yeah, so anyways, let's take a look at the MVP highlights presented by McDonald's, of course. Man, the more I talk about McDonald's, the more hungry I'm getting, but it's okay because there's another store just right beside us as well. But if you take a look, this basically shortcut is basically a boon and a bane for the side of Asteris, right? Yes, Asteris will be able to take the shortcut. Don't forget, NIP Flash was basically using it to join the fights.
Yeah, look, shortcut can be used by both teams, right? So you have to keep in mind that Chit ultimate really good, but really good for your team for the
enemy
side
team
as well.
too.
Yeah, exactly. So we see these team fights happening non-stop, right? This is what I think on the side of NIP Flash wanted to get, right? They wanted to take these team fights. We see right here, they managed to take one, but it suddenly became from 1 to 0. It suddenly became what, a 2, I think, to 1.
From all of these highlights, it's pretty fair to say that with a lineup like Asteris, which has very bursty potential, they're actually just not bursting enemies enough. It doesn't seem like they have the right call as to who they want to burst. The damage is actually very split up amongst all the other players, which kind of destroys the magic of this composition that they have. Kadita, so bursty. Paquito, so bursty. But yet, in so many instances, Vanix just kind of casually just walks away.
Yeah, because I feel like they're not picking the right targets, like what you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
They're just
They're not
giving,
calling it.
They're giving equal amount of opportunities for NIP Flash to take the damage. Especially when you're bursty, that's not exactly what you want to do.
I think, guys, they just weren't able to reach their targets. If you looked at all the team fights, right, they had to deal with the Minotaur in their face, man.
Yeah,
the
fair,
second they tried
fair.
to walk forward, the Minotaur just smashes the ground and be like, bye-bye.
Yeah, that's why you see Lozy doing that, right? That you can start to see Lozy working together with Vanix. And you remember during the regular season, right, when Mathilda and Layla, you can start to see this romance being formed between Lozy and Vanix.
Oh, intimate. That's the kind of thing that I want. But you know what else is intimate? Well, the entire lineup of NIP Flash that pretty much have got all of their items now. Of course, that means that they are in a very healthy relationship.
Yeah, 10k gold lead, right? Especially within 15 minutes. And something also I want to point out for the side of Vanix, if you notice, no defensive item. Brother was so confident that in
Wind of
Lozy.
Nature.
Kinda. It gives attack speed, so that's why.
That's true.
It's a good item for the side of Vanix.
But I was gonna say, right? So I think the gold lead, we really saw the gold lead explode after the mid game, right? So the mid game, it was really, really close. Asteris was really, really close for almost the entire duration of the game. We did see them actually match, I think, items as well as gold all the way until I think the first Lord fight. And once the first Lord fight happened, they just weren't able to recover from there. We see the items on both sides, right? We see Asteris not being able to complete the 6 item power spikes, but NIP Flash, very, very confident, completely filled.
Another thing also like to point out, Diablo, right, going for this Great Dragon Spear as well. Once you get land the Thunderclap, boom, you got a massive bursting speed, and you just zoom and room around the enemy team, right? But apart from that, if you notice from the side of Kiwi, yeah, he has the Divine Glaive, but if you take a look from the side of MIP Flash, they don't care about Kiwi, right? Look at Kiwi's items. Should be able to burst anybody from the side of MIP Flash easily.
There's only one Athena shield on the Hades and a single robe onto Lolzy. Everyone else doesn't really care about the magical onto the magic damage. In fact, the Divine Glaive kind of looks pretty early. Okay, I'm not too sure about the the order of things, but I would assume that the Divine Glaive is second item, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So having the Divine Glaive on the second item seems awkwardly early for me, especially since your as a Khadija, your main idea to kill is not Lolzy nor Hades, but really boils down to Phanix
or Cortese, right? Yeah. Those two are your main damage dealer, your main targets. It's the same thing as I would like to say for all the mage and the marksman gold laners out there. If you are ahead, you build the BOD. If you're behind, you build the Malefic Roar. Same as mages, right? If you're ahead, go ahead and hold the crystal. You want to tap onto that momentum, but if you're behind, yeah, you go for the divine.
There's also a point in time you're gonna have to consider EXP. The moment that your target's EXP is way higher than yours, and you're gonna have to decide what item you want to go for. You're gonna have to go for penetration because of the natural growth of defense stats that you get per level. And when it comes down to BOD, it just doesn't supplement what you need as compared to what the Malefic Roar gives you.
But I like green blades.
You like what?
I like green blades. Wait, don't forget I'm a Leslie player. Right? I like to build. If you give me the opportunity, I'll build 6 BODs.
That is very, very true. But moving on,
don't enable him.
Yes.
I didn't enable him. I just.
You said it's true. Don't enable him. 2 is enough.
Acknowledge and then move on.
Fair.
There we go.
Fair.
So going into the game.
I want some attention. Give me some attention. Okay, jokes aside, but look at the damage dealt for both these two teams. Actually quite equal. That's actually kind of surprising because NIP Flash is just able to just win and get more kills. And I think it's what Abstract was just talking about, right? Yes, Asteris outputting damage, but not at the right targets.
Yeah, like I said, they weren't able to reach their targets. We see them being able to deal damage, just not on the right people. Unfortunately, I mean, that's really, really, really good for the side of Lolzy, right? Lolzy played, I think, the game immaculately. He just kind of stood there, waited for the team, and waited for the team to come to him, and then chooses to use the Minoan Fury at the right time, right? I think on the side of Asteris, though, 33% of team kill participation out of 6 kills. That's not really, really high.
It's a very difficult game for Bruno, right? It's like you gotta have to close the gap, but if you close the gap, there's a big cow just ready to knock you up.
Slamming the ground, yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like NIP Flash, just a very defensive one, right? If you notice most of these team fights coming out from Asteris and NIP Flash, it's just Asteris forcing the fight they're not ready for, and then they get knocked up in the air.
Right. Now that you say that, right? The moment that now I kind of have like this very controversial take, right? Is that Asteris should never play chip. Because I feel that Asteris should never play chip. Because I feel that the moment that they pick chip, they completely throw their macro away. They believe like, okay, if we want to set up for a battle, we do have a shortcut that will bring us there. We don't really need to set up ourselves in this very specific bush. We need to go here, go there. But in the meantime, we're looking at a Kadita, a bushwhack position kind of mage. You're gonna have to stay in brushes and catch people completely off guard. In the meantime, you also have Paquito, which we saw Bear trying to hide inside of the brushes, but we only seem to see that for maybe a few times. So I feel like there wasn't really much preparation for battles coming in for the side of Asteris, and they have mostly been reacting based on FMM. Like, here's a shortcut, I got hit in a, I got thrown into a fight, I did you guys. And everyone just like, okay, boom.
Yeah, that's true. And don't forget, it's always when, remember we talked about the win condition, right? For the side of Asteris is that they have to split, they cannot handshake these team fights together with NIP Flash because of massive 5v5 comp. But it feels like that the ultimate of chip just brings everybody together and all of a sudden we're a team fight comp, right?
But you're going up against a Minotaur, so
That's right.
back to what Quan was talking about. It's
Yeah,
all the Minotaur.
It's all in the Minotaur, right?
Yep.
And like I said before, I think all these problems would be fixed in the draft, right? But I think enough to hear from us. Let's hear from our analyst, Mr. Kin. Take it away.
Now I'm gonna line up the sides. But what's more important is how I kind of deter them and stop them from actually protecting the big. Right? And as we go on, let's take a look at what's going to happen here. So one of the few things you're going to notice is that because Bear and FMM are quite far off the map itself, it is going to be a problem because at the bottom tier 3, that's going to be taken for free. Nobody's going to be able to defend the base at this point. And what's going to happen next is the big shocker here. Bear actually does not have enough damage to deal against the team of NIP Flash. Another thing that you need to notice about this draft is Lawsy being the best friend of Vanek in this game, he does not leave the goal lane side at all this entire duration. Alright, take a look at what happens next. Right now the pressure is being built open itself. More importantly, Bear at this does not get guys, hey, there is a potential down. The 4th time is right, so happen next. Bear is going to get caught out by our I think I'm trying to support him, but at so, and this is a beauty. I actually pause this frame for frame right as he does the massive damage that has been taken away from him. And NIP Flash will show how to get rid of the rest match as well. Yes, now take a look. Lawsy is always protecting minor, and he's back minor as well. I'm there. Take care of FMM. Now, sun's coming in from the no telephone. Well, and this is where once your chips are down, IP Flash will cut you out because left in Lawsy. Circle, catching them times in a row with the stomp on the left with that. All this 1.9 Asteris. Get so it will be up to 1. At, you know.
Thank you very much, Kin. And man, spot on. And yeah, I'm just listening to Kin. It just makes me hungry.
Don't get that. Don't get that. It's my imaginary clock says it's 11. What time is it?
10:48.
It's close.
We're quite close.
That's quite close.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like
I
perfect
just want
time.
it to be closer to lunchtime. All right.
I mean, you can have brunch.
Where's my chicken McCrispy?
Yeah, I'm looking for chicken crispy. Don't forget, ladies and gents, thank you very much, especially to McDonald's for assisting us this particular season and also the last season as well. Don't forget, if you guys are also in the Scape area, they do have that yummy trophy in the front.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that one, the MVP trophy?
The Lord trophy.
Yeah, the Lord trophy. Yeah, it's back once again, ladies and gents. If you are around Scape, do go ahead and take some photos with it as well. And there's also some activations happening at Scape. So like I said, if you guys are in the area in Somerset or Orchard, head on down now. Don't forget, we'll be here all day as well. So thank you very much over to McDonald's as well, especially with their improved chicken McCrispy spicy. I think we should do a challenge or something where we answer and then we start eating spicy.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, we should do that.
Not to mention, there's also that code that you can key in, right? If you're getting the delivery.
Easy. Easy. I remember it already.
Wait, say it again. Go.
TMC XMLBB.
It's lower for the audience.
TMC XMLBB.
Alright, there you go. Remember, key in that code, get your Mac delivery ordered, get your chicken McCrispy, 2 pieces, 50% off.
Oh,
Man.
but one thing I also just realized is that I was just kind of like scrolling through my my apps, and I was looking at McDonald's because I got hungry. In the middle of the
Oh
night.
man, just look at the TV right now.
In the middle of the night, and I was like, "Hey, a Happy Place! They have like this new game on their mobile app, so you can actually get some deals just from playing the game for a little bit. It's kind of like a open world concept game.
Open world
Yeah,
game?
it's like an
McDonald's
open
app?
world game. Yeah, you can kind of see other avatars as well during that point in time. So you can go in and see certain portals. I think you go into the portal, you do a challenge, you do that challenge already, and then you get a deal, or you get some dollars off or something free, whatsoever. Speaking of deals. I know. I just looked at McDonald's app yesterday, so I have all of this information and I have nowhere else for it to go. Did you know that with all the points that you have racked up in your McDonald's app, which I'm pretty sure that you have quite a bit and you didn't really quite use it, you can actually take $4.50 off your delivery?
I like the fact that he's just like, he is the #1 McDonald's fan. Oh my god.
He is the McDonald's ad-lib.
He is the ad-lib. But hey,
I have nowhere else to input this information. This is the only place that I can front it all out.
Anyways, ladies and gents, we'll be going back into the draft once again, and I hope that really fired up Asteris in game #1. But now we're going to have to go back to game #2. First pick still going over to the side of Asteris.
Look, I'm really surprised that they're still first banning Faramis. Right? We know that Kiwi plays the Faramis. We know that he's able to play it. So I'm just wondering why they keep banning. I mean, look, it's the same 2 bans for the first 2 games. For the first, Any thoughts on that, Jace?
I think it's just they just don't want to meet these 2 heroes. Like,
I mean, Kiwi can play it. They could prioritize that. And Kiwi looked okay on the Kadita, but it didn't look like the same Kiwi that we saw during the regular season.
Look, I think Asteris right here may be going for a Vexana, right? Like, finally, I think what Asteris wanted to do is, yeah, I'm gonna jump onto somebody, and then after that burst people down together, exactly like how, for the side, what Abstract was talking about earlier just now. Now Asteris is gonna prioritize Chu on his Roger, exactly what we were talking about in between games, where, yeah, they just have to prioritize Chu's heroes early, because right now, if you look at NIP Flash, just taking away the Nathan, taking away the Harif.
Yeah, we did. Asteris did not want to see a repeat of what happened during the first game, right?
That's right.
All the gold laners got banned out, and Chu had to pick the Bruno up. So I think picking the Roger for Chu this game makes perfect sense. But the question is, how are they going to round up this team composition? How are they going to build this team around the Roger?
Yep, so how you want to build around Roger is you want to have a lot of bursty damage so that it allows Roger to become this janitor in the late game. But now it's just going to be NIP Flash going back into the Moskov once again. You can see Losey just clapping and also enjoying that already. And now it's going to be the Barats coming out from the side of NIP Flash. And, well, NIP Flash on this Barats looking to have a very good early game, especially with the amount of damage, AoE damage with the Storms as well. And it's something that, you know, Roger may find a little bit of difficulty to deal with, but that's with the old build. Right now with the latest build, people are going for mostly the attack, the Holy Trinity items.
Yeah, look, Roger, with the shift in build, we did see a little bit of it towards the end of the regular season, right? We saw a lot more of the teams playing the Holy Trinity Roger, and we saw it work as well, right? I think who is it that was playing Holy Trinity?
Bleed? It's like Bleed, Seiji, and of course not only just that, it's like what most of the other MPLs are also playing with that attack item. Ooh, that's a box set coming up from JH this time.
Okay, I mean, just the Boxia part, right? The ha just mostly comes from the Boxia part. But, okay, to be fair, I can understand the balance between the Roger, the Paquito, and the Boxia. They want to be aggressive, they want to jump, they want to get the snowball going for Roger. On the other side, when Roger being first picked, I think it was pretty easy for NIP Flash to just snap pick the Moskov. It's like, without a question, let's pick up the Moskov. But for now,
we go again.
It kind of still feels like the win condition for NIP Flash is still pretty out in the open.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that Moskov is the win condition. I wouldn't even say that they are going for all-out team fight. There must be something a little bit different about this lineup as compared to the previous.
I think what NIP Flash has secured for themselves in terms of win condition is like, yeah, let Asteris come. Yeah. Let him come over on me, and then after that, all I do is just smash.
Come on, you, yes, okay. But so Baxia,
why are you being so sus today?
No, literally, right? Just let Asteris engage onto me, and then I just smash onto the floor and be angry, you know?
Phrased a lot better now. So Baxia, Baxia. I want to talk about this pick a little bit, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Fredrin is available, but they opted to choose for the Baxia instead of the Fredrin.
You know why? Because it didn't work previous game, so they're trying something new.
But
Quad just like, oh.
And you know why the apple is red? The apple is red. That's how I understood that phrase. But okay, I agree, Esther. I agree to a certain extent, right? Like, right now, they just cannot catch onto the Moskov, right? Baxia does have that movement and ability to have the global to just bounce over somebody and just jump onto it. But if you're doing that onto a Moskov, I think just have to be careful, right? But now Asteris did not go for Kiwi's Vexana, and now NIP Flash decides to take it away.
Yeah, look, Kiwi's pool is now being pinched a little bit, right? We see the Loi getting banned, we see the Vexana getting banned. Could we see a Kadita again? I mean, the Kadita was a pretty decent pick earlier on. I just was not able to reach the backlines of Moskov in order to burst him down. And so far, on the side of NIP Flash, they've got a pretty tanky lineup so far, right? So Kadita, bit of a question mark for me. I don't think would be chosen, but we do see the Esmeralda getting banned out on the side of Asteris.
Pretty interesting, like, why would you ban the Esmeralda when you're not going for shields? Yeah, maybe from the side of Paquito generating the shields. Okay, that's a Hellcurt taken away. Now, it's just target just nodding at FMM because he's shown that he's quite flexible in terms of these smaller to heroes. There's this one time when they pull out a Hellcurt, just imitating a Beloyski just a little bit. But now, Asteris. Julian? What?
Okay, so keep in mind, right, that some of the assassins did get buffed. Julian is one of them that did get buffed, right? So they could be worried about the potential of Julian in the hands of Hades, right?
Yeah, but
potentially.
But you already got the Barats in, right? And
unless you want to play the Barats in the EXP.
Yeah, but
there still be a probability.
Does Diablo play Barats in the
That's
EXP?
the problem. Yeah. I mean, we can definitely expect that Diablo have expanded his hero pool.
He did.
I would want to expect that. So at least, you know, when it comes down to a sudden surprise, that is the kind of thing that we can expect.
Yeah.
I would love to see some surprises, to be honest.
But right now, it's mostly status quo for the side of NP Flash. Asteris is the one that has to make something different. You ask for something, a surprise, and there you go. Curtizi brings Aurora onto the table.
Dude, Aurora is scary, man. Aurora is really scary,
yeah,
especially in this team, against Asteris. Asteris can't even step into a team fight.
Yeah, and don't forget Asteris, this is a dive composition. The Roger, the Paquito, the Baxia, right? They're gonna dive into what? A Minoan's Fury and also the ultimate of Aurora. A Moskov can just join immediately. And don't forget, you dive into a Barats with the ultimate and just swallow people up. Man, like I said, NIP Flash is just literally telling Asteris, come engage on me.
They're just disabling. They are just a team that focuses on disables. They just want to disable Asteris's way of tackling problems head on.
Lila getting picked up on the side of Asteris as Matilda. Matilda could be pretty clutch for them, actually.
Yeah, but like, if you're gonna engage on them, yeah, this is a massive dive. Composition from the side of Asteris, right? And then Lilia in the hands of Kiwi, just landing down the bombs all across the board. Yeah, it kind of fulfills what the Roger wants to do. You know, you burst people down just a little bit, but I'm just a little bit confused. Not say confused, but surprised. But it's like Aurora, and there you go. That's going to be Masha from the side of Diablo once again. NIP Flash going up against Asteris is the same kind of composition for the side of NIP Flash. Asteris taking a little different this time around game number 2.
NIP Flash's lineup is largely similar, but they have a lot more disables that they can play around with. The big difference for the side of Asteris is now that they do not have chip, and that's great for me because, like I said before, the moment that they take chip in, they lose all their macro. So with this said and done, I really do hope that Asteris will be able to change things up.
Yeah, look, I am terrified. If I was playing against NIP Slash's
I'm already terrified playing against Diablo, but like, yeah.
No, but against that lineup, it's just devastating, right? You can't take a step forward. Honestly, Asteris, guys, what are the win cons for Asteris right now?
don't engage. It's literally just play split because they have a very mobile team, right? And not only just in the form of Luxia. Right? You can't be aggressive against the lineup from the side of NIP Flash. This is basically, I max my defense because I'm too scared of getting hurt.
Wow, okay. That's a great anime, guys.
I'm so glad you caught the reference.
Great reference, man.
But of course, right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be jumping into game number 2, of course, between Asteris versus NIP Flash. Throughout the start, let's just really get some housekeeping real quick, right? Because I really want to look out for lane priorities here. And understandably, Asteris do have quite a bit of lane priority in the middle lane, to a certain extent top lane too.
Yeah, definitely. Masha should get pushed off, but Diablo is more of a late game assassin, right? Whereas the Bear needs to make something work, maybe cut the waves just a little bit with the roaming duo from the side Kiwi and JH to potentially do something all across the enemy jungle right now.
Yeah, we see the EXP lane is just exchanging blows, both of them being
the most boring
safe
lane
right now. What?
The most boring lane.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Come on, EXP lanes are very interesting.
No,
look at
Diablo.
Diablo.
EXP lane.
Diablo is interesting.
Biasness does not count. Moving on.
Alright, moving on, right? So Chu and Vanix right here, if you talk about this lane, it's kind of equal, but as a Moskov, you can play more defensively, but it's all up to Chu to basically make it work, to basically snowball quicker as compared to Vanix, right? And now Asteris, maybe they should play around the bottom side more to make sure
they have to.
Chu gets the snowball, because if you notice in the last game, Chu wasn't able to step forward, basically be a threat, and Asteris literally fall because of that.
You also need to remember that the previous game Chu played the Bruno, and arguably Bruno does a little bit better to Moskov as compared to what a Roger is. So if the previous game Chu couldn't pop off, then this game the more Chu wouldn't pop off. So Asteris gotta have to change something a little bit here and there when it comes down to the macro game.
I mean, it's Lord Vanix that he's laning up against, right? He's inevitable. He's basically one of the strongest goat laner right now in MPL Singapore.
So much bias is coming out these days, but anyways, we go back into the game. Looking at the turtle fight, we see 4v4 right now.
Yep.
A lot of changes happening.
It doesn't seem like Hades have got any care in the world. It just casually just walked right into the members of NIP Flash and Hades. Oh wait, hold on a second. Doesn't seem like he will be able to stay alive, unfortunately. With the first person taken down, Asteris didn't even lose a single person as of yet.
Great start from the side of Asteris already. If you notice how Asteris is just balancing out, they're just balancing on this tight rope, right? The NIP Flash pulled for Asteris, and they're the one that got out with teamfight and also a turtle.
Look, Lalzi survived a pixel of HP, right? So it could have very much been a 2-0. Luckily for him, manages to escape. Right now, after the turtle, Asteris at a 1.3k gold lead.
Turtle priority goes over to Asteris. They should have a better mid-game-ish for the side of Asteris, but the late-game priority still falls onto NIP Flash because of the side laners, right? Marsha in the late game just finds you, punch 3 times and you're dead. And Vanix, of course, comes in for the cleanup from afar. I can split push. I mean, it's just what NIP Flash wants to do. They want to scale all the way to the late game. Asteris looking for a massive spike in the mid-game. Same kind of concept in game number 1.
Yeah, we're just wondering whether they will be able to capitalize on this slight advantage that they already have at this point. We see some pretty standard movements around the map. Next turtle spawning in about a minute's time. And we, as mentioned earlier, we do see Asteris actually slowly grouping up in the bot lane, trying to give Chu some form of priority, some form of safety right now.
NIP Flash is also reacting. They know the win condition from the side of Asteris, and they're looking to deny it. Losey stepping forward. The Concussive Blast doing a lot of work. Don't forget, the turtle is spawning in 40 seconds. There's no reason for both teams to be there. But like I said, it's just trying to support the goat laners right now.
See Chu picking up the Corrosive Scythe. That's a first completed item in about 4 minutes. It's a little bit, and it's on time. It's not too slow. But the question is, how many more items is he gonna pick up in the next 24 seconds?
Now, of course, seeing the Corrosive Scythe being picked up by Chu, I'm relatively happy, right? We're not looking at like, the Wind Talker, the typical build coming in from Roger, especially since we are looking at Roger fighting against a Moskov. It's tough, and especially when it comes down to the mid stages of the game, you really need someone to actually deal with the barrage. Because when it comes down to Asteris lineup, they do have very short-range poke coming from the team. Kiwi, yeah, you will be able to zone people away, but one thing's for sure is that your team team is the one that wants to initiate, while NIP Flash wants to disengage. They have a lot of disables and controls against Asteris, so we need someone that is in the back lines that can really work things out. The moment Chu actually goes for his normal Lycan form kind of battle and Lycan form kind of itemization, that's pretty much it for Asteris.
Yeah, and it makes Roger kind of a flexible marksman, right? And that's the power of Roger, and that's why he's being picked up as one of the favorite gold laners right now, right? You build a different item, his playstyle changes, and that's the beauty of Roger.
I saw JH picking up a brute force breastplate as his first item. That's not a normal item that you see on Boxia this early.
I mean, I can kind of understand where it's coming from. The 15% crowd control reduction is ultimately very important, especially since they're dealing with a Barat, an Aurora, as well as a Minotaur.
And not only just that, it also lends to more chaseability, right? And also a bit of a tankiness built in, right? As long as you're landing those first skills, JH looking for the roll. We'll be able to find Hades though. Curtizi around there does have immortality. The stun doesn't go in. The ultimate.
Oh! The rest are coming in from Bear, just gonna be creeping down onto Hades. But Curtizi knew exactly what he needed to do and completely froze everyone in place, literally and figuratively.
Let it go, literally, right? For the side of Curtizi, literally just letting down an RC pop, just denying Asteris any form of advance.
But that was a really good, I think that was a really good choice from the side of JH. Asteris making the moves this game. They are the ones that are putting pressure on NIP Flash right now, and we do see that reflected in the goal. 1.4k gold lead at this point. A lot of skirmishes, a very, very scrappy game right now, actually.
Yeah, but don't forget, late game goes over the side of NIP Flash, right? Because as long as, you know, NIP Flash delays the game even more, Vanix is going to scale, and don't forget the Masha also scales. Taking a look at the emblems once again, it's going to be the mystery shot for the side of the Masha and also Assassin emblems. The Thrill to add on the damage, the Lethal Ignition to add on the damage, and now Vanix goes on to the Golden Staff. This is where Vanix really looks for a fight right now.
Yeah, Vanix is looking really, really good. Golden Staff on Moskov is very, very, very
Ooh,
scary.
FMM!
Oh, just go with the Circling Eagle, just connects onto Longsi as well as Vanix, but it's a quick disengage from them. They're not going to dabble in this any longer.
That guiding working was really sus coming off from FMM. That would have brought Chu all the way to the snapping jaws of NIP Flash, but now NIP Flash, we're just going to forgo the turtle. They're looking to scale all the way to late game because once Curtizi does have his items, he's going to just also output the damage. This is the strongest point for side Asteris, and Asteris is not taking advantage of it.
Not taking advantage of it because NIP Flash is turtling, right? They are playing very, very well. They know what objectives they need to take. They know when to pick the battles. NIP Flash is just trying not to get picked off. Asteris, the time frame is closing in, is drawing ever so short at this point. They are all grouping up at the bot lane right now. Let's see if Asteris is going to be able to pick off anything from NIP Flash.
Now we have pretty much come into the mid stages of the game, and Asteris, they have managed to get themselves one kill. Great, right? But we're talking about a Roger. And typically a Roger would require a lot more of a snowball in order to really pop off. But you don't require a snowball for a Roger to work. So that's the difference, right? At least when we are looking at the Holy Trinity that's being built up on the Roger, we can still definitely see the Roger try to do something against Hades, which could be one of the most important players and the most difficult player to deal with. Because Kiwi can at least still deal with Diablo to a certain extent, and we do have Bear that can jump onto Vanix. All of the main damage dealers would be dealt with, except for Hades. Except that he's not really a damage dealer, but his stomps are pretty painful.
Yeah, we're 9 minutes in. None of the first tier turrets are down yet. We're going to go in the long run, guys.
This is such
This is going to be going long game.
No, but you see, the longer the game goes, the better it is for NIP Flash. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
We talked about that quite a bit. But if you're taking a look at the items on the side of the gold laners, they both have 2 items completed. Both of them building up into that last part of the Holy Trinity. And it's very even across the board, man. It's 1k gold lead for Kiwi. That's what I see.
Something interesting from the side of Kiwi is that he doesn't really prioritize on the ice cream. Oh, finally! 9 minutes, 30 seconds. First turret down. Wow.
After a long time. This game is actually really done slow. And coming in from Asteris' side, they actually want to engage in battles a lot more. And just as I said it, they're just going to be jumping themselves right down to Hades, hoping that they will be able to bring him down with just a sliver of health. He is just going to be sleeping off the cracks of Asteris, and that is such a big waste. Asteris have wasted and used up so much resources just to try to bring Hades down. And now Kiwi finds himself in an unopportunistic moment and finds himself dead.
Yeah, Kiwi pathing right there doesn't make sense. But you can start to see what Asteris is doing, right? True is actually keeping Vanix in check. Denying Vanix from joining Teamfight actually allows Asteris just output the damage against NIP Flash. Don't forget, Asteris does have a lot more consistent damage as compared to NIP Flash, which is mostly burst and that small little window. And you can see in a long team fight, Asteris should be able to win this, but hold on a second, GH!
In the middle and in the hearts of the enemies, he's just going to be nom-nommed right down, and Hades also takes the Lord for himself. Chu did manage to bring Diablo down, while Baron on the other side brings Lolzy down. So most of the main damage dealers coming from the side of NIP Flash is taken down, except for Vanix. They can definitely try to turn things around, but we're looking at 3 versus 5. And with a Lord coming in from NIP Flash, it makes no sense to continue.
Yep, Chu focusing on the turret right now before the Lord comes out. NIP Flash will lose that mid lane for now. But NIP Flash does have a Lord marching up against Asteris soon. But it's still a baby Lord, so not too bad for Asteris to handle.
Actually, I was going to say, so you know, the previous team fight, Kiwi actually played that very, very well at the start of the team fight, right? So Diablo tried to burst Kiwi down, but he was able to use his ultimate to get back away, back to full HP actually. So bit of a question for Diablo whether he's picking the right targets, but Kiwi playing that very well.
Probably one of the first main team fights that we have coming in between Asteris versus NIP Flash. But we're just going to hold that thought for a tad a little bit because NIP Flash seems like they really want to engage themselves over here. Okay, no. So, my original concern, Hades. That was always the concern. Is there anyone that can really deal with Hades? Because right now, what we saw from Asteris is that they did manage to deal with Diablo before. But for now, JH, the guiding wind, gets himself away pretty fine and dandy over here. But they still don't have an answer to this big dinosaur, man.
Yeah, I think the only answer for the big dinosaur is Chu, and that's why you go for the attack speed items. Don't forget, Chu in the human form does damage based on percentage HP, right? So that's basically a tank shredder. And once he's got Hades down low, he becomes more of an executioner, and now FMM. Oh, Vanix getting caught out of position just a little bit, dashes out of the way, burns the flicker as well to safety. Square destruction.
Nom nom nom. Right down onto JH. And he's going to be focusing down everything. The Frigid Glacier unfortunately did not manage to connect, but we do know that the Hailstone Blast does do quite a bit of damage. You're going to have to work out for that. Diablo comes in between and managed to find the proxy, brings FMM down and pushes the rest of Asteris away.
Yeah, Asteris right now, the fight's getting destroyed. The NIP Flash is just sending 5B, just 5B4 is just very messy for the side of Asteris. They're just out of position. They're trying to reinforce, but NIP Flash, this is just massive death ball stomping across Asteris.
And look at Bear. Bear was just in the bush the entire time. He was not able to find an angle to just burst anyone down, and he's just it's basically 4v5 the entire game.
Unfortunately true, yeah, because we haven't really quite seen a lot of sacrificial play coming from Bear, despite Bear actually being the pos 4 position. We're gonna have to see a little bit more presence from Bear, be it trying to distract the opponents a tad a little bit, or actually jumping over the back lines to deal with someone. In fact, when it comes down to Katizi, his Pride of Ice actually has been online for the longest time ever, and I haven't really quite seen it popped before.
He hasn't died. Not even theoretically, he hasn't died.
Yeah.
You know, Cortese's positioning has been immaculate so far. You know, Aurora does not have a lot of movement at all. She's just walking all the time, right?
Yep.
So, honestly, immaculate plays from Cortese. Positioning is absolutely key when you're picking up this hero.
Yeah, so Lolzy is actually paying, big damage.
The big book comes on with the Detonus Welcome that lands onto JH and follow it up with Lolzy with the Minoan's Fury that lands onto 3. He's just going to be holding on to the fort for a long period of time. And while all of that is happening, Hades focuses on the Lord, brings it down, and hoping that they will be able to bring more people down. But with a quick little Purify from Kiwi, very fast fingers. Otherwise, that could actually be his own demise.
Yeah, nice. Lolzy is actually the MVP right here, man. NIP Flash. Lolzy is just denying everything that Asteris wants to do, right? As a Minoan Fury, you can see the main 3 damage dealers constantly getting knocked up, and all of a sudden Asteris cannot play the fight. And then after that, the Lord gets taken down, whereas Bear is just trying to split push on the other side, and now NIP Flash just knocking on Asteris' doors once again.
It's too little, too late, or rather, they did too little in the early game. Right now, NIP Flash, it's the late game. It is their game. 2.4k gold lead ahead at this point in time. The timeline, the lifeline for Asteris is looking really, really low at this point. A miracle needs to happen at this for Asteris to take this game.
Yeah, I think a double miracle is required right now because the Lord's already clashing in on the top side. Hades just, you know, it's a two-prong attack for the side of NIP Flash against Asteris. Bottom lane is also taken down 4-1 composition coming up on NIP Flash. They're pushing Asteris base.
It's really difficult for Asteris to do anything right now. The main damage dealer being Chu, as the Roger has already lost half of his identity. The lycanthrope is no longer a lycan, it's just a full-blown human. But in the meantime, Vanic's just going to be focusing on the turret and bringing down almost immediately JH in the heart of all the battle, hoping that he'll be able to run away, but the guiding wind sends him off. Kiwi being left behind as Vanix just blinks himself in front to take him down almost immediately. With 2% down from the side of Asteris, Vanix wants to press the issue a little bit more with a quick little hit coming from Katizi. I believe that freeze was the frigid, it was the frigid glacier that eventually brings him down. But now JH hoping that he can taunt everyone, but wasn't able to do so. As such, we have Asteris unfortunately suffering to defeat an NIP Flash very successfully, gaining 2 wins.
All right, another day in the office with the side of NIP Flash, but kudos over the side of Asteris for trying right there. But I would say NIP Flash, MVP goes to Losi, man. The amount of Minotaur, he's just making sure that he always knocked up at least 1 or 2 members, and sometimes those 2 members that he knocked up are the damage dealers. He burns the flicker just to make sure that he's unable to step in, just zones everybody away. Man, NIP Flash, this probably is the prime.
They are looking incredibly strong at this point in time, you know, and as you said, Lolzy on the Minotaur is a scary statue.
Yep.
Right? He just stands there and he's like, come close, I dare you. I dare you to come close.
Yeah,
Come
literally.
close, I'm gonna knock
Engage
you out.
on me, please.
Please.
Please, I don't need to. Have you seen, like, I don't think from this particular series, you don't really see Lozi actually using the Flicker ultimate. It's mostly Asteris jumping onto Lozi, thinking that they have enough damage to deal with Lozi, but turns out Lozi just knocks everybody up in the air, and then Vanek just comes in for the clear.
I mean, it's a pity, right? Because that is quite literally what Asteris is supposed to do.
That's right.
That is the win condition. They're supposed to jump. But because of the fact that we have, well, NIP Flash's draft being set that way, it's actually very difficult for them to actually do anything. Because of the fact that, number one, Roger doesn't have enough farm. They don't have enough resource that actually pour over to the gold lane in the early stages in order to have a proper answer to the mid stages and the late stages of the game, which I would say is just a missed opportunity as to where they invest their resources in.
The team composition that they picked, right, was supposed to be really aggressive. And honestly speaking, we did not see that kind of aggressive plays coming out from the side of Asteris. It's, honestly speaking, we also didn't really see them being very aggressive in the regular season. So picking this team composition, going against Team Flash, I expected to see a bit more.
Yeah, like I said, Team NIP Flash just literally maxed out the defense. This is a very defensive comp that deals with any dive composition that Asteris wants to do, right? Basically, even in game number 1, that's the exact same thing they did. But ladies and gents, we talk about the MVP just now. I kind of teased a little bit, but let's take a look at the official MVP. Yep, there we go.
Yep, there we go. There we go. I mean, is it really debatable? Is it really debatable? Because, like, Vanix just does marksman stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Just let him do his stuff.
Not only just that,
but we need the setup.
Yeah, Curtizi is also safe in the circle, right? As long as you stand in the circle that Lozi provides, he protects. And he knocks people up, and he attacks.
He protects so that they cannot attack.
Yeah. That's one way to put it as a Singaporean. But anyways, take a look at the kill participation, 66%. But I think it's not about the stats that he did, it's about his playstyle all across not only just this particular game, but of course this throughout this particular series, Kwa.
Someone mentioned that playing Minotaur is super easy, right? Who was that? I think it's like Nick Stain?
Yeah, I think it was Nick Stain. Yeah,
I thought Nick Stain only plays Minotaur.
Nick Stain plays Minotaur, and Lozi says that,
he can only... Oh, yeah. So this is kind of like his rebuttal.
Exactly.
I mean, it only makes sense if they actually go up against Vanguard.
Which,
and that happens.
I don't think it's going to happen, right?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, speaking of which, Minotaur, I think really, really great pick. Both games we saw Lolzy playing Minotaur at his peak, right? By just being a statue.
I mean, is he really a statue? Okay.
Yeah, right? Because he's just waiting there, like I said. And honestly, Minotaur players, I think this shows that you don't have to take that flicker aggressive playstyle that you see a lot of Minotaurs playing around. Sometimes all you need to do is just stand around your team, make sure.
To be patient.
Correct, to be patient, you know. But we will go into the mic check to see what the team comps are going to be like in the first.
No snap, helping AD. Nice guys. Nice one. Low, we still got turtle guys. Nice guys. Kadita nothing. Nice.
You guys here.
Slowly.
Hey guys, about
No flicker. Nice.
Hey guys, I got ulti guys.
Okay. I give you vision.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about how Lozy just needs to. It's just the fundamentals, right? And I really love to see how NIP Flash is doing this. But Asteris, on the other hand, you know, they have to go to Singapore. They're not on the competition just yet. They're not on MPL Singapore just yet. They have to go down to lower brackets, and they'll be facing the original Titan Slayers.
They're going up against Evil, right?
That's right.
I mean, we have seen how Evil played in the regular season, right? It's not all that promising. But it's playoffs. It's
playoff Evil.
It's Evil's playground.
Yeah, do you know the meme about the Shiba? The one with the big buff Shiba, and then there's a small little Shiba?
Yeah.
You know that meme?
Yeah, I know the meme. I know the meme.
Evil in regular season, and then Evil in playoffs.
Big buff boy.
Yeah, big buffy boy.
Just like powerful?
Yeah, he is. I was just interviewing him, and his shoulders are super wide. He struggles to fit in the
his shoulders are actually broad as hell.
Yes,
like
it shows the amount of responsibility that he's holding on. But let's talk about Team Flash performing to AT. It's just basically this is their identity, right? They're still sticking to it. And we remember we asked about where this is the actual lineup of Team Flash, because right now it's just we're picking between JPL and Lozy. But it feels like Lozy is starting to feel like the perfect fit for Team Flash.
You really think so?
I mean, Diablo used to play with Lozy.
Uh-huh.
Lozy was in the previous season playing together with Vanix, and you can see the romance starting to form between the Rome and Goat. And when you get that duo going, man, it just starts to go.
I mean, have you considered that Puski being in the composition being a very strong EXP laner as well, who plays very strong meta heroes? So basically they are able to change their win condition, or rather who they will want to play around with a simple switch of one player. And that way that their playstyles completely different. And if you add JPL in there, who is very calm, collected, and he knows exactly when he wants to jump, albeit a lot less aggressive than Lozy, but I'm pretty sure that when they want to do things right, they will do things right with the JPL and Puski combo.
Look, I think regardless of who is playing on the side of
it's NIP Flash!
Yeah, I love the flexibility coming off an NIP Flash, right?
But yeah, I'm
just really plugs and play. But yeah, you're sorry.
I just want to hear from you now.
Just very random.
No, I was gonna say, right, I think regardless of who is fronting the NIP Flash lineup, NIP Flash is the undisputed top dogs right now.
Yep.
They're the undisputed team to beat, right? We love to see the different playstyles, and we saw them during the regular season, right? They constantly changed up the lineup. They constantly were like having a little bit of fun. Let's be honest. Right, and this is the first. I'm not even sure if they were like
quote unquote serious.
Serious, yeah, exactly. Right, we saw the Aurora being picked up. We've never seen the Aurora this entire season.
Not at all.
Right,
not at all.
Not at all. So we've seen them try out new things even during the playoffs, by the way. Right, and this is also a slightly different Team Flash from what we saw during the playoff season. Sorry, during the regular season, because the regular season they just kept being very aggressive, right? They kept taking kills and snowballing the lead from there.
Yep.
Right, so I'm curious to see what else they have hidden in their pockets.
Yeah, we should be able to see, like, especially when we move towards up the playoff brackets, right? Because right now they're going up into straight into the upper bracket finals, right? Like basically, if they clear that one game, they're just secured. They secured grand finals. That's it.
Semi-finals. I mean, semi-finals then grand finals, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
so they're already one step closer into going to the grand finals.
Yep.
But ladies and gents, let's take a look at the MVP highlights right here instead. And woo, it's like what I said. It's just basically just mostly Asteris trying to go up against NIP Flash. And this is how I foresee, right? If it's represented by a scene, it's just one little kid trying to grab candy from the adults, and the adult is just like, yeah, you just keep trying, and the arms just failing right there. That's how I imagine it.
To be honest, right now, I mean, my eyes is just on Lozy this whole time, right? And if I'm him and I'm playing on the, if I'm playing this game, I will be like, why is my job so boring? Because all he did was walk around, soak damage, position himself correctly. Oh, people come at me, press one button, boom, everyone flies up. I mean, it sounds easy, but obviously when it comes down to the execution itself, it's not easy. Lolzy just makes things look easy.
Yeah, I mean, they're pro players, right? It's their job to make things look easy, and we
Fair
try
enough.
to rank game and we get reported.
Yes, and I'll have a 0/15 Minotaur. Totally not from personal experience.
Oh, have you played a Minotaur before?
It looks as if he's
I said no.
from PTSD, man.
I said no, it's not from personal experience.
Sounds as if there's a little bit of a story going on there.
Yeah, we're going to
but-
have to dig his history right there. But anyways, ladies and gents, coming up next should be going into the analyst section very, very soon. But I mean, this is actually a very good series coming out from both these two teams. They're starting the playoffs strong, but before that, let's take a look at the stats right now. I'm going to give it to Quad to kind of look through the items.
All right, so for the gold laners, we actually do finally see almost a 6-item build coming out from Chu this time around. So not that 3.5 items that we saw earlier. But on the side of NIP Flash, 6k gold lead, almost 7k gold lead actually in 15 minutes. Actually, both games. This game felt a bit longer, but both games was about 15 minutes.
Yeah, 9 minutes in, we only take down 1 turret.
That's
and 1
insane.
kills only. And this just goes to show that Asteris knows that they cannot tangle with NIP Flash. And when they decided, okay, you know what, we're losing our priority, we have to try to do something, and then they just got smacked by NIP Flash.
Yeah, but we also saw how quickly the game accelerated, right? Once it hits the late game. The second it hit the late game, NIP Flash really took and snowballed the way, well, they almost bulldozed their way down the game. You know, we see 9 turrets being taken at the end of the whole series, at the end of the whole game, and it was a resounding victory on the side of NIP Flash. Emblems-wise, anything stands out?
Yeah, I think it's just the same thing coming up from Diablo, especially trying to get into the later parts of the game. Chu going for the weakness finder instead of the Impure Rage, because this is more of a normal, not say normal build, but more of a Holy Trinity build. He goes in, he knows he needs to shred, so he prepped for that. And oh, something, okay, hold on a second. That's a common emblem coming up from Chu instead. I know Roger have mana issues, but yeah, him going for the common emblem hopes to stay in lane even longer, but Banix on the other hand, going for the tenacity instead of the Master Assassin. He knows he has to go to the late game.
Yeah, I think interesting adaptations, right, that we see from the side of Vanix going from game 1 into game 2. Noted that Asteris had a little bit more disruption, I guess, on the side of Asteris, so he opted for the tenacity instead.
One thing, of course, when we are looking at Chu's emblems, I wouldn't say that the emblem is going to make a huge difference in their game, right?
Nope.
But it's definitely going to help a little bit when it comes down to the laning phases. I would definitely say that the mana regeneration from the common emblem is not really quite necessary, or rather, it's
for the Roger, not quite necessary.
Not quite necessary. It doesn't really quite translate well in terms of value, at least for me.
Correct.
And to further cement that is that when it comes down to the late stages of the game, since we already know that Chu doesn't really do so well in the early stages, you don't get to transform that much. The lycanthrope is just a lycanthrope without a lycan, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a human holding a big gun. There's no point in, kind of transforming, and you won't even have mana issues anymore at probably mid stages of the game.
Yeah, and right now I think it's just all about how Curtisi as well. Before we switch over to the scene, right? Curtisi goes for the Witness Blessing and also movement. He wants to be able to catch up together with Hades and also Lolzy in terms of this roaming trio, supporting on the side lanes. But let's take a look at also the damage dealt. In fact, Asteris did more damage as compared to NIP Flash. This is basically just an epitome of saying like, minimum effort, maximum wins.
That's true. You know, and Max, I was going to point out, right, that I think most of the damage did come from Kiwi. Kiwi, with her, with the bombs, it's just carpet bombing the entire team, but they weren't able to finish up, right? Chu was not able to turn into a Lycan and clean up on Isle NIP Flash because he wasn't allowed to go in. Lolzy was there once again, being that barricade, being the zone control, which NIP Flash needed to have. And even though Asteris had more damage, it's just unfortunate that they weren't able to clean up.
Yeah, and not only just that, I think the whole theme of this particular series is basically NIP Flash says, yes, engage on me. Just come at me, bro. Literally, come at me, bro. I got so many tools to slow you down until disengage. Asteris try to go for even more. They committed to the playstyle, right? They go for the dive combat. It doesn't work.
It's really unfortunate, I was just gonna have to say. It's pretty tanky. It all boils down to the early game. The early game, the moment that you did not manage to funnel most of the resources over to the Roger, the game is doomed. You don't have enough money onto the Roger to actually deal with barrages. We can obviously tell Kiwi, as the Lilia, is able to deal with Masher pretty fine. Bear didn't really quite have much presence in the game, so he didn't really quite touch onto Aurora. The Pride of Ice has always been active the whole time. So at least when it comes down to individualistic micro matters, we do have the two main damage dealers that didn't really quite manage to put their presence into the game solely because of the early stages, which is it's a pity.
Yeah, I always look at Bear, right? Like I would have thought like you would want Bear to be able to start to split push, knowing that, okay, you know what, my dive comp is not working, I want to see more splits, right? There's no adaptation going into the later part of the game, and Team Flash was just able to play his own game.
All right, in my opinion, I really wanted to see Bear be more aggressive. We saw a lot more aggressive plays happening during the regular season, so seeing him like this, it felt like a bird with his wings clipped. Right? But I want to hear what Analyst has to say for the two matches, so over to you, Ken.
Yes, do I have a lot to say right now? This is a bang of a series, first game of the day. Flash, NIP Flash showing us how it's done once again against Asteris this time. Now, a big question here is when you go in a game, right, who do you focus on? You are supposed to build on your win condition, and boy did Flash did that. Now, the first thing first, I want you to take a comparison between the two goal laners, between Asteris as well as Team Flash. I'm going to show you in a short while what the difference is right here. As you can see, Vanix is already going crazy with all the movements across the map on them. At the meantime, you have two on the other side who is busy getting caught by the Lousy, right? Lousy does a very good job on his call to make sure he gets the vision, as well as to provide a lot of deterrence and damage on them as well. Now, this is the first round of the game. They got, I think, one of the first few lots. So, moving on, you will see why little things matter in this game. So, he actually advantage to clear off the rest of the backlines for Chu especially, which then allowed him to just get in a bit more damage as time went by. Now this slight advantage they got for themselves earlier in the game in the 14.5-minute mark. Transition to, lo and behold, the same situation as game 1, right? So we have a tier 3 at the top end, at the bot also being threatened once again. Asteris, I mean, history itself, but what can you do? It's NIP Flash. You can try, right? So what's going to happen here? They're going to take this once again. Now, there's a couple of things that happen for moments matter in, and I'm referring to like this. Radiant armor on Lousy as well as the Hunter Strike on Diablo, increasing the defense, the attack portions of the composition as well. More importantly, is to deal with the huge problem because of the shockwave, a lot of the burst damage coming in, dealing AoE damage across the lineup of NIP Flash, which didn't allow them to really push the game. And once they had the Radiant Armor on Lousy, job's done, right? He was able to soak damage as well as out the pain. Well, now what's going to happen here from this point on? They're going to, a lot of damage, structural damage across the base of Asteris. One thing I want you to keep your eyes on, and that boy is my boy, Curtis here. He did a very, very sick play towards the middle of this. There's one more thing, right? It's not just about how well the attackers do. It's also the defense. Oh, and this comes in. Lilia has a lot of burst damage. There's a lot of wasted damage. The mid, well, right? Kiwi actually took a lot of his shockwave, which didn't much without set. Now, this is where the shocker comes in. I want you to take a look at the health bars. Now, next thing is Curtis here with the timing that allows them to win this huge fight with catch. Bear as well as JH, the main two tanks. And once you have the two tanks dead, it is just Vanix Day all day long, and the rest is history. This is going to be the first game of the day for the playoffs itself. Now, this is all I have for you. NIP Flash, what a performance today. We will see what's coming up next for the rest of the day. Back to you, Sean.
Thank you so much, Teacher Kin, for that wonderful analysis. Now I have Adamir now beside me. Now we're very excited because Adamir definitely was one of the key stars of the show when it comes to MPL SG, and now you have transitioned to coach. Okay, so let's start off with, what do you think of the draft when it comes to Asteris earlier?
Okay.
Like that in the terms of like unpredictable, you weren't quite sure what they're gonna pick, or in what sense? Right, but of course they're not to be undermined as well, because even being a qualifying team, they've made remarkable, performances, making it to the upper brackets at 4th position. So with that, what do you have to say, or how did you guys approach this game, not knowing much about this brand new qualifying team?
Came into
Right, and of course, coming into this game, you guys had a 2-week break before we head on over to the playoffs. What adjustments did you guys make, learning from the regular season before coming into the playoffs today?
We did a lot of experimentation in the regular season. 2 weeks were more for what we want.
In terms of roster, or in terms of like direction and draft?
Definitely both. Even though it's the playoffs, you'll be surprised.
Oh, there still might be surprises? I guess. Not just in name also, from Team Flash to NIP Flash, but we still have more surprises in store.
Maybe.
All right. So, okay, of course, you guys as defending champions are gunning for the championship once again right here in Singapore. So with that being said, how confident are you guys taking the championship this year?
I think we are all quite confident that we also respect our teams like.
Right. So as coach, who do you see you will face off if you're gunning for a championship? That will be grand finals, right? Who will you be anticipating to see? Manifesting.
I think RSG and Bleed is quite 50-50, but if I had to choose one, it will be Bleed.
Oh, okay. So that's the next match that's coming up. So perhaps, you got your lucky coins on Bleed.
Yeah.
On Bleed, huh? All right. So we heard it first. Thank you so much, Adamir, for this wonderful interview. Thank you. So guys, that was Adamir that we have right here from NIP Flash. New name indeed, but same amazing all-star faces and stellar performances that we have seen over at the Land of Dawn. Now with the conclusion of this match, we see Asteris dropping to the lower brackets where they will meet Team Evil, and this will be happening, match 3 of the day happening at 3 p.m. But before we jump to match 3, the match that's going to come up next happening at 12:30 p.m. It's going to be a bloodbath, friends. A bloodbath battle where we see the likes of Bleed Esports going up against RSG SG. Now, which side will this go to? We really don't know, because based on statistics and data in the regular seasons, they're just 1 point apart. So stick around and join us for the bloodbath battle happening at 12:30 p.m.
crispier chicken McCrispy? So much crispier. Bite into an even crispier crunch with the improved Chicken McCrispy. Now, wouldn't that be nice?
OSIM.
Or get arrested.
This will sting. You have my word.
私は強くなるんだ。そのためなら何だって。
自分の良心に従って人を助ける。オーラってやつは隠してもにじみ出るもんだからな。
Who is the best looking player in MPL SG?
Oh wait. I know.
Oh.
I know. No, I know this one is the goat. Oh, this is the goat.
Okay. You sure easiest or not? Easy or hard? Best looking player.
This one eh. Handsome boy. Handsome boy.
Ken from manga. I think like we're getting some. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. 这个呀，这个 I don't know what to say. 3, 2, 1. Must. Didn't he have a different name? We write the current name. Okay. Oh, easy game, bro.
Huh? Oh. Like you all say the old name or the new one?
Yeah, so?
Huh?
Okay.
So easy ah.
Wow.
What's the old name? Dante.
Thought Dracula.
3, 2, 1. Technically both correct.
Oh, okay.
What the heck?
Wow, this one I know.
Okay.
Oh. 2, 1. You know right, correct?
Yeah. That time her skin color, the basic one was red, bro.
I forget ah.
You know right.
Huh?
Oh, wait, bro.
Okay. Tapi je connect slow.
Tak ada. 3, 2, 1. Slow.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of this skin, bro. But then I'm like, looks like a girl skin. But it's veiled because of the wind. Oh no. I can't.
There's no way. There's not too long.
Yeah, mage ah. Oh wait. Oh, I know.
Should be this one.
I hate this hero, bro.
I got my answer.
Okay.
Ah. Okay. Huh?
Wait.
Like a universe ah. Who's that familiar?
Oh, okay. Let's see whether it's correct.
This one is, you can't even guess it. This is near impossible.
Oh.
You know the light bulb?
Yeah.
They super zoom into it, bro. I'm done.
Please. Okay. Can we read answers? Okay, correct. No, that's the correct answer.
Wow, I forgot about that hero, bro.
Supposed to be your main, your main.
Because he got one.
I wanted to guess the Ellie special skin, but then like I realized
He said
the powers was not like featured in the box.
Yeah, but he said it was default skin ah.
Yeah, that's not to be a default skin.
Universe ah. Ah.
Bro, I thought it's Cyclops.
See, bro.
Oh.
Okay.
The first player to guess two, guess two. Because of the yellow skin, right?
Oh.
Well, why you don't know it? Yeah, it knocks me.
A crispier chicken McCrispy? So much crispier. Bite into an even crispier crunch with the improved Chicken McCrispy. Now, wouldn't that be nice?
OSIM.
Or get arrested.
This will sting. You have my word.
少し乱暴しようか。
私は強くなるんだ。そのためなら何だって。
自分の良心に従って人を助ける。オーラってやつは隠しても滲み出るもんだからな。
Who is the best looking player in MPL SG?
Oh wait. I know. I know. No, I know this one is the goat. Oh, this is the goat.
You sure easiest or not? Easy or hard?
Best looking player.
This one handsome boy. Handsome boy.
Ken from manga. I think we're getting something. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1.
这个呀，这个 I don't know what to say.
3, 2, 1.
Must didn't he have a different name?
Can you write the current name?
Okay. Oh, easy game, bro.
Huh? Oh. Like you all say the old name or the new one?
Your answers? Okay.
So easy ah.
Wow.
What's the old name? Dante.
Thought Dracula.
3, 2, 1. Technically both correct.
Oh, okay.
What the heck?
Wow, this one I know.
Wait.
Huh?
Oh.
2, 1. Eudora is correct.
Yeah. That time her skin color, the basic one was red, bro.
I forget
Eudora.
Huh?
Wait, bro.
Okay.
Tapi je kan exo.
Ah, tak ada.
3, 2, 1. Slow.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of this skin, bro. But then I'm like, looks like a girl skin.
Thought it's veiled because of the wind.
Oh no.
I can't.
There's no way. There's not too long.
Yeah, mage.
Oh wait. Oh, I know.
Should be this one.
I hate this hero, bro.
I got my answer.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Huh?
Wait.
Like a universe ah. Looks that familiar.
Oh, okay. Let's see whether it's correct.
This one is, you can't even guess it. This is near impossible.
Oh.
You know the light orb?
Yeah.
They super zoom into it, bro. I'm done.
Please. Okay. Can we answers? Okay, correct. No, that's the correct answer.
Wow, I forgot about that hero, bro.
Supposed to be your main, your main.
Because he got one.
I wanted to guess the Ellie special skin, but then like I realized that the powers was not like featured in the.
Yeah, but he said it was default skin.
Yeah, that's not to be a default skin.
Universe ah.
Do not say
Ah.
Bro, I thought it's Cyclops.
See, bro.
Oh.
Deluxe. Okay.
the first player to guess blue. A lot of people guess blue. Because of the yellow skin, right?
Oh. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it knocks me.
A crispier chicken McCrispy? So much crispier. Bite into an even crispier crunch with the improved Chicken McCrispy. Now, wouldn't that be nice?
OSIM.
Or get arrested.
This will sting. You have my word.
少し乱暴しようか。
私は強くなるんだ。そのためなら何だって。
自分の良心に従って人を助ける。オーラってやつは隠してもにじみ出るもんだからな。
And welcome back, everyone, right here to MPL SG Season 7 Playoffs. Now, this next match that's going to come up real soon is a highly anticipated match as we see a rematch of the final day of the regular season where Bleed Esports did a convincing 2-0 sweep against RSG SG. But remember, the regular season is but a preview and anything can happen right here at Playoffs. Now, with that being said, this is a match that promises a high-octane and close match as we see two very evenly balanced out teams. Now, they will be doing all of their best to make sure that they have a point to prove as well as the dream to stay in the upper brackets and vie for that championship that is MPL SG. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, let the bloodbath battle begin. First, presenting to you our wonderful team of Bleed Esports. So yes, now we see the wonderful faces of Bleed Esports looking shiny and dandy right here as they stand before you. Now, they are going to give everything they can to stay in the upper brackets to hopefully have a shot against our defending champions of RNIP Flash. Now going up against Bleed Esports, presenting to you RSG SG. Now, the boys have definitely come a long way, especially in the regular season where people have doubted them. With this brand new RSG SG roster, can they make it? And definitely they have right now standing in the upper brackets, going to give everything they can to remain in that position. Now, this is an epic battle that's about to unfurl over at the Land of Dawn. Now, we know that RSG SG is not going down without a fight. Given that 2-0 sweep in the regular season, they will definitely give their all right here for match 2 of playoffs day 1. Now, the boys are getting ready to head on over to the battle stations. Now, anything can happen right here at this game, honestly, as these two teams are really evened out in terms of all of their positions. So, what will happen in this bloodbath battle? Wow, what a mouthful. Let's head it over to the boys to take it away.
Yeah, ladies and gents, welcome once again. This is the original El Clasico of MPL Singapore. My name is Jay. Joining me right here on the desk is Abstract and also Qual. We'll be bringing you this particular series, and it is going to be Bleed going up against RSG.
You're so mean.
Why am I mean?
We'll move on from that one.
Am I mean?
Yeah, you're mean.
You're horrible, man.
No,
Horrible,
I'm just
horrible,
adding on.
horrible man.
I'm just adding on.
Horrible.
My vegetable?
Absolutely horrible, man.
Anyways, okay, let's talk about this particular match, right? Okay, if you guys have been following MPL Singapore for a long time, all the way back